Oh, 2 minutes late. Somebody shoot me with a gun. Give me one moment here. Take that share. Copy. My mouse doing various things. Don't worry about that. Do not be concerned with that. Post. As for a little background music. You'd think, shut the fuck up with the chicken jockey. I swear to God, I'm gonna go insane. Never fucking hate. I hate modern movie trailers. What? I'll watch. Bro, it'll happen eventually. Don't worry, okay? Eventually. Look, you're on the screen now. Isn't that cool? Where'd that thing I had once go? Sorry, give me one moment here. Ugh. And nope, not that one. Over a chain event over Flint and Steel? Really? I Ender Pearl bullshit. I'm gonna go. Mm-mm. Where the hell was that playlist? It was perfect. I had it. I fucking had it. Hang on. What was it? Maybe that search will do it. Also, I should probably get my... Ooh, it's loud. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Ugh. What is this? Oh, shit. Hang on one moment. Dude, I am so professional. First off, let's take this back out to... There we go. My bitrate was so low for no reason. Hopefully it applies. Turn down. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. What's up, everyone? Hey. The March 21st. Cool day and a great day to talk about politics. I know you guys love that nonsense, right? The house will be fine. Don't worry. Okay. To answer your one question there, when did anime go woke? Anime went woke when non-white people started making it. You know, I think when the Japanese started making it in like the 1920s, after they ripped off Walt Disney. What happened? We mean the kilobyte is low. Oh my god. My bitrate's still too low, huh? That'd be so embarrassing. It's not 0. Oh my god. There we go. Fucking finally. Okay. Sorry about all of that. I had OBS set to a different bitrate speed because I was using it for recording something, and then it's different when you want to go live. But it says it's good now, so that's great. But yeah, no, anime's always woke, okay? When there's more women than men on screen, that's when it's woke. Not gonna lie, it's just the truth. I'm just being objective about it. Anyways, on to cool things. So, first off, there we go. Haha. Cool. So, this is from today. Politics-wise, Trump promised an American boom. He now says it's gonna take a while. Womp womp. Who could tell? So yeah. Yep, President Donald Trump said his first day in office marked the start of a golden age for the U.S. He and his advisors now say it could take months or longer to arrive. Oh my god. Okay, listen, I know it's just demagoguery when they say, like, day 1, we're gonna fix everything, we're gonna end everything, day 1, Ukraine war over, day 1, Israel-Palestine over. You know, I know it's just, they just have to say that because then they, you know, it's just how they get people to root for them, especially the dummies, because only dummies believe that nonsense, right? But, like, saying it's gonna take months for any sort of economic shit to fix itself is funny as fuck. What's up, Meadow? Yeah. So, yeah, 2 months into Trump's term, administration officials are rejecting the notion that Trump has already taken ownership of an economy which he vowed to work a miracle. Since they have celebrated positive data and blamed signs of Trump's... Let me turn that off, sorry. And blamed signs of Trump's predecessor, Joe Brandon, all while warning his plans won't bear fruit overnight. Yeah, that's how it works, okay? Where was that? Let me get an S&P 500 up real fast. That'll be a great one. That's how you know things are going well. You don't know, the S&P 500 is where all your grandmothers are storing their stocks. Alright. Can I get this with that? Hang on. Yeah, look at this. This is the last 6 months of your S&P 500, right? So you had your September before the election, right? Went down right before, you know, because, you know, we're anticipating who's going to win what, you know. Then it went right back up because Trump won, and Trump is pro-business. He's the businessman, okay? Everyone's excited, you know, and it was still going up and up and up and up and up. All went down because of, I think, a couple of strikes from people in ports and, like, Amazon, maybe. Maybe I'm memory holding some event from December. Okay, but then, it's going back up because he's gonna be president. Yo, hype moments in Aura. He's gonna be president. Yo, it was really high, when he got elected. Cool, right? And it was going pretty strong. And then he started doing tariffs again and threatening them. And then it's now below what it was before he was president. So that's just, you know. It's smart money plays, okay? Big money moves. It is very funny. Thank goodness I don't have any money in any sort of stocks at all, let alone investments besides what everyone invests into for Social Security. But, like, everything else, I ain't got shit in that, right? I don't know. Maybe I should be one of those idiots who buys gold, huh? Is that a good idea? Maybe? We'll find out. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna say it's gonna take 6 months to a year because Biden really screwed the country, right? Still living through Biden inflation. Yeah. And of course, many economists say his erratic tariff plans, or perceptions of them, are one of the biggest drags on the economy. No way. What? He's also gonna put more reciprocal duties and tariffs on nations on April 2nd. And supposedly around sometime in April is when his epic big plans are gonna take fruition. Yeah. Yeah. You're not gonna like these graphs they're gonna have show up here in the bottom. This is from Bloomberg, by the way. It's more of a finance-focused website. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and like... Hang on. For a moment. Should be good there. Alright, yeah. If those estimates hold true, Americans could blame Trump, seemingly already evident in deteriorating consumer sentiment readings and a recent $5 trillion stock wipeout. Majorities of registered voters already disapprove of his handling of the economy and cost of living. And it's good fodder for next year's midterms. And here's some cool graphs here, courtesy of the University of Michigan. Consumer sentiment is fucking down since May of last year, but it's been fucking... And then 5-10-year inflation expectations has gone right the fuck up. Yeah, buy the dip. Yeah. But with what money? I don't want to even imagine how many of you are actually even employed. Exactly. Only buy tobacco dip. Start your addictions now before they, before it's too expensive. I don't care what a Biden Treasury Department official says. That they're inherently biased. Come on, what else you got in this article here? Yeah, I love this thing where like immediately they're like you can't complain about the economy being sucky right now. We're clearing out the bugs, okay? Okay, we're working out the kinks, all right? Trust us. If we just keep firing more government employees, it'll fix itself, and we'll get to that soon as well. But yeah, no, just yeah, they just keep winning. They're tired of winning. Another article from Bloomberg about Tesla vandalism. We love our Teslas, don't we, folks? Everyone in this chat has a Tesla, I assume, right? You all have Tesla cars. I have 17 of them, right? They're all epic. I have to keep sending half of them in to go get some sort of fix for a plate of the Cybertruck falling off, or the brakes not working on mine every now and then. But they're great cars. Tesla vandalism sparks fury on the right, while protests escalate. Now, I am required to say I do not support vandalism. It's bad. Okay, don't vandalize things. It's rude. Okay, it's bad. You should not do it. Nobody should do vandalism. But if I happen to come across a random Tesla that lit itself on fire by itself, it would be very funny. And if I don't know the origins of said fire, then how can I know if it's funny or not, How can I not support it? Maybe I support a vehicle spontaneously combusting, right? So if I happen to find one, I'm gonna laugh regardless. Molotov cocktails in Tesla showrooms. Disturbing messages on Cybertrucks. By disturbing messages, they mean a big fat penis, but and vandalism at charging stations. The backlash against Tesla Incorporated, more specifically CEO Elon Musk, is escalating, provoking a response from the billionaire's conservative reporters while emboldening a growing rank of protesters. Caught in the middle are millions of poor widow Tesla customers whose vehicles are being if you own a Tesla right now, especially if you've bought one recently, and especially if you own a Cybertruck, you are basically riding the Hitler mobile. Okay, you're driving what's that old propaganda poster? Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's this. Hang on. Yeah, when you ride alone, you ride with Hitler. This is every Tesla owner right now. This is what's in their empty car seat is Hitler. Fuck me. Yeah, no. Yeah, public displays of anger stemming from Musk's outsized role in the Trump administration has led the president's backers to step up their response. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said this week that attacks on Tesla property were nothing short of domestic terrorism. Domestic terrorism. To be fair, conservatives call everything domestic terrorism. They could call you boycotting fucking Steak and Shake domestic terrorism, right? Their bar is very low, you know? But, you know, at the same time, this is a damage to property, and the United States, property is more important than the lives of human beings. So it's serious fucking business, all right? It's such serious business. In fact, I'm thinking for this article, we're gonna go Corey mode. There we go. It's serious fucking business, guys. Take this shit seriously. All right. The public displays of anger stemming from Musk's outsized role in the Trump... Oh, yeah, we said this already. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick urged Fox News voters to buy Tesla, describing the stock as a bargain. Yeah, Tesla's stock price has gone down to like... Fuck, it's lower than it was like last year. The shareholders are not happy, okay? It's real bad. They're threatening to fire Elon Musk, the board is. It'd be funny as fuck if they did it, but they might not because he's... I mean, I don't know if he's effective at selling these things, but, like, I don't know... Well, the Cybertruck is his fucking stupid baby, right? Imagine if he gets fired. It's just... I don't know. Because, like, a lot of people who own Cybertrucks right now and buy Teslas and such right now are doing it as a form of political support for Donald Trump and the right wing, right? So if and that's all from Elon. That's all Elon's done. If Elon was not involved, there would be no connection between Donald Trump and Tesla. So they can't fire him or else they'll lose that link and there won't be as many conservatives buying that shit, and it'll just be another overpriced car company that's not the biggest manufacturer of cars in the United States, which I don't think it even is. I think the only thing they can really claim is that Teslas are made with the most American parts in percentage compared to all the other stuff that's imported from other countries, but you know. But yeah, no, having the fucking Commerce Secretary have to come on stage and say, please buy the stock for our corporate shadow president, suzerain vizier, please do it. It's so fucking gay. Come on. And yeah, last week Trump had a fucking QVC show live stream where he opened the car door and said it's all computer because he's a ancient man who doesn't know what cars anymore. Yeah. And then Musk is crying about violence, and Tesla has turned on a security feature in all its showrooms and streamed a surprise all-hand meetings where he said the company's overall good. It's not, despite the burning of vehicles. Yeah, the destructive incidents are outside the norm of what's been a largely peaceful movement against Trump and Musk's policies. I mean, that's kind of disappointing. You imagine... That's the funny fucking thing about it, right? Is that, like, for the past 8 years, Democrats have been saying, Trump's Adolf Hitler, he's a fascist racist, we have to stop him, right? And you know what? They're kind of true. They're kind of correct. But then once he's in office, they're just like, yeah, we can't do anything about it, really. We're gonna like have some old fucks do rallies with us. Chuck Schumer, I will go out and go on a book tour about anti-Semitism. That's what I'll do to combat all the societal ills that we cried about for the last year and a half. You know, and it's no fucking wonder why like people don't take them that seriously, or as seriously as like a conservative politician gets. You know, their rants taken seriously. You know, it's been very lackluster. Yeah. The organizers, a decentralized group called the Tesla Takedown. Yeah, that's a peaceful wing of it. I don't know. This is really funny. Of course it's in Nevada too. Fucking, that's a cursed state. I was there last year. What's up? I was there last year. Cursed state. It should not exist. Las Vegas shouldn't exist at all. What was this? Hang on. I don't care about this. Yeah, so that's affecting Tesla owners, such as Avi Benhamo, who was standing on a Brooklyn street corner last weekend when he noticed a stranger approaching his epic Cybertruck. He watched as the man wrote a message into the dust coating his vehicle. Hang on. First, okay, hey, whoa, hold up. First off, fucking wash your car, okay? If you're gonna own a fucking Cybertruck, wash that shit. It's fucking weird, alright? Dusty ass fucking Cybertruck. Shit deserves to get marked if you're gonna have it look like that, okay? Watch your man write, Elon Musk equals swastika. A very cryptic message indeed. And then Benhamo, and it highlighted an unsettling new dynamic. Owning a Tesla now means becoming a political target. I don't care for Elon Musk. I like the car. I am driving the car. American politics be like. You have your own agenda. Go online. Oh no! Say whatever you want online. Don't draw your swastika on my car. It was a finger painting. He was just etching with the dust, with the fucking slime and must covering your fucking car. He made a little funny writing, okay? It wasn't spray paint. It wasn't etched with a knife. Calm the fuck down, baby. Jesus Christ. This is really funny, though. First off, why would you own a Cybertruck in New York City? Have you been to New York City? It's not a truck city. Owning a truck in New York is stupid unless you know have it for your job, right? Stupid. Other incidents have been more extreme. In Salem, Oregon, a man was charged after he allegedly threw a Molotov cocktail at a showroom. Cool. And in Loveland, Colorado, a woman faces charges after surveillance video captured her throwing gasoline-filled Smirnoff ice bottles at parked Teslas at a showroom and spray painting expletives on their doors. Tell us what door. Tell us what the expletives were. Whatever. Authorities in North Charleston, South Carolina, charged the man for damaging Tesla superchargers with vandalism, targeting Trump and writing "Long Live Ukraine" before igniting beer bottles fashioned into fire bombs. Dude, no, hang on. These couldn't. Okay, I know Musk thinks these guys are like Antifa or whatever, but like, what if these guys are like not that? What if they're like the NAFO middle-aged unks? What if they're like Grandpa? What if they're like the NATO warhawks who like are just angry that Ukraine got insulted on television that one time, that Zelensky got yelled at by by Trump and JD Vance? What if that's who they pissed off, dude? The fucking The Fighting Irish, the fucking boomers are mad. That'd be fucking funny. It's like that phone call shit. Ugh, I wish I could get that set up, but I don't know. But okay, if you don't know, there was like there's all sorts of reporting right now about town halls in GOP states having like a million angry grandpas screaming and throwing shit and yelling at their politicians for not for just letting Elon Musk gut the federal state, right? And the tariffs and all that other nonsense and firing people. So, you know, and one part of that was, I think it was Tom Tillis, I forgot his fucking name. He's a scumbag. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. Now he, am I forgetting it? No. His office been getting phone calls from his constituents, and it's all like old people. It's all like 10, 50, 60-year-olds calling him and sending him like death threats, and it's really fucking interesting and not funny and not supportive at all. But it is crazy and concerning, and it would be really unfortunate if anyone did it more to other people on the GOP. It'd be really bad if more people did that. And whatever I don't want to happen definitely doesn't want it happens, right? Like I didn't want Trump to win in 2024, so that's why it happened. So if I don't want people to call their conservative politicians and threaten them, then logically it won't happen, right? Totally, yeah. That's how my life's worked so far. Okay. Yeah. X have stretched north to Canada. Canada should probably do it just as a government function. If I was, I don't know who the PM is now. There isn't a PM right now, right? They're gonna vote for him because Trudeau's out. Trudeau's fucking done. He ain't in there anymore. He got out. So whoever's in charge, the Grand Canadian Poobah, might as well just like drive up every Tesla in the state, seize all of them, and just like blow it up with like a tank or something, or a missile out in the middle of like Alberta's fields. That'd be a great showing of Canadian strength and unity. But yeah, police in Hamilton, Ontario said Thursday that more than 80 vehicles were damaged at a dealership, including scratches and punctured tires. Who cares? Man. And then their sales declines. Yeah, some owners have been taking to placing anti-Musk stickers on their vehicles rather than selling them. Meanwhile, prices for used Teslas are cratering, meaning that many owners who want to get rid of their cars potentially do so at big losses. Damn. This is such a weird photo too. I don't like this photo. It looks fucking awful. Look at Trump's fucking shitty face. Oh man. But yeah, no. The Tesla shares have plunged more than 50% from a December high. At the all hands meeting on Thursday, Musk said that despite the rocky moments, employees should hang on to their stock. It's his job to say that. He would obviously say that. He made lofty predictions about the company's future, including that autonomous Tesla products would be global in 5 years. Last year marked the EV maker's first annual drop in vehicle deliveries in more than a decade. Sales and shipments have dropped precipitously in key markets including Europe and China. Market researcher Kelly Blue Book estimates the company sold about 43,650 vehicles in the US in February, among its lowest monthly totals in the past 3 years. Flawless capital handling of capital and light limited LLCs. Yeah, it's just great job, Elon. Oof, hang on. Should not be wearing this jacket indoors. It's too hot. It's no longer winter. Sorry, I just got back home. Could be better. I wish I had used Tesla money, you know? Used cars are expensive still, so imagine a motherfucker lowering the price anyways. What if you start seeing, you know how like the real bum-ass cars are like the used beat-up like cop cars they sell that like have like replaced doors and shit? What if you start seeing like Teslas with like swap doors that are not painted the same? What if, you know how you like go to like a junkyard and like trade out like an electric battery from like a car, you know, for like some cash? What if you like take the whole Tesla in there, huh? Would they take it? I assume so. Yeah, it's just Musk. He's just fucked over his own company. Great job. Okay, this is the actually important story. Oof. Yeah. Weeks-long lockups of European tourists at U.S. borders spark fears of traveling to America. It's a serious business mode, so no more Corey, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, if you don't live in the United States, do not come. Remember what Kamala said, do not come. Do not come. I don't want to imagine what the fuck Musk takes on a daily basis. It looks like it's very effective at making him look catatonic, okay? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Personal story. Blah, blah, blah. U.S. border agents handcuffed U.S. citizens, chained their beds while her fiance was accused of violating the rules of his 9-day U.S. tourist permit, the couple said. Spent 16 days locked up before flying home in Germany. Okay, listen. Basically, yeah, do not come to the United States. It's a bad idea. Don't even fly here, let alone go across a border from Canada or Mexico to get in here, right? If you have to, then just fly, don't cross the border. It's a bad idea. ICE agents are just capturing anyone. Stupid. A lot of German tourists here. They include another German tourist who was stopped at Tijuana crossing on January 25th. Jessica Broche spent over 6 weeks locked up, including a week in solitary confinement. A friend said, why? What? For what? For what? On the Canadian border. The fucking Canadian border. Who gives a shit? A backpacker from Wales spent 3 weeks at a detention center before flying home. Okay, listen, I understand. Maybe this is a bit racist, but like these are white people. Why are they getting locked up? Who are these ICE agents? Why are they so scared of like random, you know, white Euros? Okay, they're like the least threatening people on the planet. Okay, they've been cucked and humiliated by 2 world wars. They've lost every bit of threatening presence in them. But yeah, no, fucking German capture and put him in solitary confinement for 3 weeks. Why? Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, Sealab 25 and others say it was never made clear why they were taken into custody, even after they were offered to go home, even after they offered to leave voluntarily, right? They're not, you know, they're not saying, I don't want to go back. They're saying, I'll leave, I'll fucking go. And they're like, no, you have to stay here. Yeah, some like, you know, some nonprofit guy here saying they've never seen shit like this happen before, right? Look at this terrifying MS-13 drug cartel member. How horrifying, you know? Let me load a screen here. There we go. How scary, dude. I'm so threatened by this schlubby guy who looks like he plays the city skylines in his loft in Hamburg. How threatening. Yeah, it's definitely unusual if these cases so close together and the rationale for detaining these people don't make any sense. It doesn't justify the abhorrent treatment and conditions. The only reason I see is there is a much more fervent anti-immigration atmosphere. You know what? Right now, I am also anti-immigration to the United States. Don't come. Fuck us over. Don't. If you're smart in a different country and you think you can use that like intelligence and skill to make a lot of money in the United States, don't go there. Go to Canada instead. Or Mexico. Don't go here. Bad idea. Maybe not Mexico. I don't know. Yep. Of course, tourists from these countries, where the U.S. requires visas, many of them non-Western nations, have long encountered difficulties entering the United States. What else we got here? Yeah, no, just so scary. Such a scary white man. Fuck off. Okay, that's the end of that article there. Yeah, go to Brazil instead. That's what I'm saying. All right. And then for the Americans in the audience, bigger news. Well, wait 4 years, maybe, or not even 4, 3 really, but you know, wait a couple years, see if anything violent happens, and the country fixes itself. Then you know, see if we can come here or not. All right. Yep. Can Trump really abolish the Department of Education? Because he just signed an order yesterday calling for the agency to close, and has already gutted its staff and programs. Still, students may not see much change, at least at first. So, oh yeah, by the way, this is where he signed it. This is the fucking razzle-dazzle administration in the United States here, right? He signs his orders in, like, studios where, like, they have, like, a bunch of, like, students and children at desks, and, like, they pretend to sign it, too, with him. It's so theatrical and shitty. God. So if you don't know, in the United States, we have the Department of Education. And it's only been a department since, like, the 70s. But it's existed in one form or another as, like, a bureau or an association or just a part of the government since the 1800s, late 1800s, right? And most other well-developed countries have something like it. All it is just, hey, we have a big country with lots of little states that manage its own schools locally. Let's use the federal government to make sure that states that are really poor get money, to make sure that students can get loans to go to college, and to help students who are disabled and wouldn't get the right support from their shitty, podunk, crappy-ass states, right? That's where most of the money goes to, is those three things, right? And they want to get rid of everything except for the loan thing, because the loan thing makes money. Or doesn't make money, but the debt holders would probably end up finding a way to harm whoever decided to cancel that debt or transfer it somewhere else. I think they are transferring it, but like they're not going to get rid of it. They would never get rid of U.S. student loan debt. No, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So, President Trump signed an executive order on Thursday that directs the feds to come up with a plan for its own demise, the Department of Education, right? Now, Trump may be able to appoint the Secretary of Education, which is, it's not Betsy DeVos anymore. It's McMahon, Linda McMahon, who is in no way, shape, or form fucking qualified. He only knows who she is because she's rich and because she's related to Vince McMahon, who's the big wrestler guy who's a friend of Trump. Really stupid country. But Trump can't, like, cut the funding for the Department of Education, right, or get rid of it. That takes an act of Congress to do. And maybe there is, you know, some hope that Congress wouldn't do so, even with it being stacked more in the GOP's favor at the moment, you know? Yeah, only Congress can abolish the cabinet-level agency, and it's not clear whether Trump has the votes in Congress to do so. But he has already begun to dismantle the department, firing about half its staff, gutting its respected education research arm, and vastly narrowing the focus of its civil rights division, which works to protect students from discrimination. Yeah. And this is not a new thing. The GOP has hated this department forever, because it's one of the few things the feds do that helps poor people sort of effectively, right? Is public education. They hate that. They don't like it. They want to get rid of public education, right? They want to switch to charter schools, and charter schools are a big mixed bag. And I've done some reading indicating that, like, it's not any more effective than a public school, let alone any more cheap. Because charter schools are still paid by the state government, right? It's just not administrated as directly by a non-profit organization. You know, I mean, they are for-profit, kind of. It's weird. And they fucking love private schools, too, which, you know, shouldn't also exist either. Can't the kids just do that? I can't educate children. I hate them. I don't want to talk to the children. Are you kidding me? My goal in life is to avoid doing that. Okay? Nuh-uh. Bye. Get out of here, little fucking chunguses. Get out. Go away. Go have fun in your Fortnites or whatever. Go play Roblox or something. If you want to watch my streams, go nuts. But, like, you know, I'm not going to be ordered to do so. If I can help it. But, yeah, what this is probably going to end up doing, in my estimation, is it's going to make poor states skimp out more and more in their, you know, school funding. I mean, they already get a lot of funding from the feds anyways. And it's just going to screw over kids with, like, disabilities. It's going to screw over kids in, like, poor, like, black areas. They're going to get fucked over, for sure. You know, there's places in the South that, like, have, like, the most podunk shit schools on the planet who don't make any money because the way schools are funded in the United States is through local property taxes. That's where most of the money comes from, right? Which, if you think about it for more than 6 seconds, you realize, oh shit, that means that the kids in the poor areas are going to have poor, shitty schools with less teachers and less funding. And then, you know, they're not going to take school that fucking seriously, or their education's not going to be good enough that they're not going to really be able to make more money when they get out of school, right? Because they're already in a poor area anyways. They don't have generational wealth to rely upon. And their education's going to be shit, so they're not going to be able to, you know, do any of the other, you know, class ladder bullshit you could theoretically do with a decent education, you know? It's a self-sustaining fucking poverty pit, right? That, you know, you could change a lot of that by just not having it be property taxes, but in doing so, you'd piss off a lot of white people, so it's not going to happen. Yeah, the South is fucking nuts, though. Yeah. And, like, you know, and there's, like, all these other, like, bullshit, you know, weird, paranoid parent arguments against public schools, right? Like, parents don't like the idea that, like, kids have to be stuck in the, you know, muddled with all the other children at this cramped high school. And, like, the obvious answer for that, if your high school has too many kids in it, is to build new ones and hire more teachers. But they don't want to do that either because that costs tax money too. So just figure it out. The government isn't a fucking business, you know? It's the point of public education is that you can educate workers to be able to do more complex jobs. Boom, right? And there's, like, this whole argument that, like, well, you know, kids don't need to learn about fucking coding. I mean, some of them do, but, like, they need to learn about, like, Common Core math or English. They should learn how to, you know, weld or something. And it's like, that's a trade school thing. Some schools do offer curriculum like that. It's just weird, because, like, I guess the issue is that, like, a lot of schools are kind of stuck in the mindset that, like, America had in, like, the 80s and 90s, where everyone is gonna go to college. Everyone's expected to have an office job, and nowadays, everyone's expected to have, like, a fucking piss poor, on your fucking feet, walking around service job, which doesn't require much education. You know how to, like, read and write. Whatever. Let's get into this article so I can stop mauling about the school system. Okay. Yeah. What does the department do? It was founded in 1979. Its main job is distributing money to college students through grants and loans. They're not getting rid of that. They're going to allow that to happen because they love you being stuck in perpetual debt that you can't declare for, right? You can't declare on student loan debt. It's the only type of debt you can't do. It's with you for fucking ever, right? It also sends federal money through to K through 12 schools, the schools that children go to, targeted towards lower income and disabled students. and enforces anti-discrimination laws. So it makes it so that way kids in poor, shitty areas with racial discrimination rampant and with disabilities can at least have like a better school environment to go to, you know? And it's only about 10% of K through 12 funding, right? It's not even their main source. That's like, I had like a Wikipedia page for it that showed where the funding went in 2024. Where was that pie chart? It was a cool pie chart. That's the Philippines one. Ah, stupid. Hang on. There we go. Nope. Back. Yeah. Title 1, which is the K through 12 funding stuff, that's like 30% of their funding. 60% of that shit goes straight to federal student aid. It ain't that much. Yeah. So, can it be closed? The answer is not by Trump. He's just going to make it very miserable to work for them in the effort to make everyone quit their jobs or be dominated by his demands. And then, you know, it'll slowly get defunct, you know? Yeah, it had to go through Congress. Members would most likely hear opposition from superintendents, college presidents, education leaders in their districts. Schools and GOP regions rely on federal aid from the agency, as do Democratic schools do. You'll get a lot of angry parents if you do so. And they ain't got the majority for it. Even the fucking Brookings Institute is saying that they ain't got a chance, and those fuckers would love this to happen. Yeah, well, it's always been opposed. It's just real shit. It's just real shit. Anyways, but maybe I'm not educated enough to understand this. Maybe I'm just, you know, blowing hot air. So, let's go listen to what an expert has to say on the subject. I apologize in advance for hearing this fucking guy talk, but you're required to hear him. Okay? We all love Tim Pool. This was from 7 hours ago. It's hot off the presses. Beanie Man's back. We all listen to what he has to say, because maybe he's sympathetic towards the plight of American schools and won't just talk out of his ass much more than even I could have imagined doing so, and cry about it and say like, well, you know, my school didn't teach me how to do taxes or some stupid bullshit. Play.
From Huffington Post.
Man.
The EO. Trump signs executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. Congress would need to act to fully eliminate the critical.
First off, I mean, I don't know if he has guests on earlier, but like, why are the cameras on like empty chairs? Why are the cameras on empty chairs? Why can't you? Could you not like have like a scene for your live stream that like gets rid of these? It looks like people have left, or like you don't have enough seats filled from your fucking shitty show.
Agency, the critical agency. Trump could still stop many of its key functions.
Hang on.
President Trump signed an executive order on Thursday that calls for the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, to begin the process of shutting down the Department of Education. In the late afternoon, Trump announced his administration would return education back to the states. I was hanging out with the family, and we were watching the signing. I have the video for you. We'll play it. Here we go. And Allison, is my wife, said, "Who's that lady?" And I was like, "That's Linda McMahon." And she's like, "Who is she?" And I was like, "The wife of
Vince
McMahon."
Man, yeah.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, and then she was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "You know, the guy from WWE." And then she started, Allison just started busting out laughing. And then she laughed the whole time she watched the ceremony. And I was like, "Welcome to President Trump." Oh, do we got no sound on this one? That's my fault.
Listen, I do this sometimes too. I'm also kind of dumb, but like, this is his job. He does shit like that. How smart.
That's my fault. I mute Twitter because it autoplays.
Historic action
That's
that
a reason,
was
actually.
45 years in the making.
In a few moments, I will sign an executive order to begin eliminating the Federal Department of Education once and for all.
God, he looks ugly. Okay.
From
Oh yeah, this is his fucking setup. I love this thing they do. They love doing it a lot. Is like when some conservative state will sign like a child labor law that like lets little Billy go work at like McDonald's when he's 14 or some shit. They always have like a trillion like sad looking children next to them when they film themselves signing the fucking law, right? So of course Trump does this too. They love doing that. I don't know why. It's really weird.
Today we take.
There you go. That's from Rapid Response 47. So basically, here's how it's going to work. The executive order that he signed is basically a plan. It's an instruction.
Hang on. I have to. Okay. Every time I see one of his videos, I have to do this. What the fuck is in his background here? It sucks so hard. I hate it. I hate his sense of like design here. If I had his money, I'd make the coolest studio ever. Okay, not where the fuck this is. Some fucking stupid boonies, whatever the fuck, skateboard with a fucking bear with an epic shotgun and a flannel shirt and a hat. Some shit that like 100% was not drawn by anyone. It's probably AI. Fucking guitar he probably doesn't play. An amp just lying on the ground collecting fucking dust. Gold shoes. I don't know. What the fuck. And then this like weird UFO thing he has hovering around. Ugh.
For the head of the Department of Education, Secretary of Education, to basically start shutting it down. The way it works is Congress passed the Department of Education Organization Act in 1979, which requires several things to be accomplished. Trump can't end those functions, but he can mess them up real good. So you may remember back when marijuana was still illegal in the 2000s, and the DEA was raiding pot shops across the country, notably in California.
Well, Krios, he's not shutting down the department. He's just making it. He's just gimping it. He's just making it weak and ineffective, right? Until then, people can say it's probably a longer term process, I imagine, where like if you make the department like weaker, if you make it not perform any duties, if you make it like lose the ability to perform those duties and to be an effective tool for like helping education, then later on people might be able to vote for being dismantled because they think, well, it doesn't do anything right now because 6-8 years earlier they gimped it earlier. That's what I imagine their plan is.
You had this is before Obama, actually. In California, you had a bunch of different pot shops where California said, pot's legal, and the DEA still raided them. So Barack Obama was like, we're not going to enforce this. Now, hold on. Congress passed a law saying you can't have marijuana. And Barack Obama said, I'm the president. I ain't going to instruct any of my guys to enforce that law. That is how the executive branch checks the legislative branch. You see, there's this thing called checks and balances.
He says this, meanwhile, if a federal judge stops anything Trump does, his beanie glows bright red in anger.
The judicial branch issues rulings, says you can't do that. Legislative branch can pass laws saying, here's what you got to do. The executive branch can choose to not do things. It works out pretty well. In this instance, Trump is going to basically tell the Department of Education, stop doing things and stop giving people money. So the core functions that need to be done technically could be done. But if he's only doing it at about 1% of what's supposed to be done, he's still technically doing it. And the argument from Trump is once this executive order goes through and we begin the process of dismantling it, Congress will eventually act to shut the whole thing down. I'm not entirely convinced, but we're at a wartime presidency right now.
What the fuck does that mean, wartime presidency? What? What does that mean? What war are we at right now? Who are we at war with? Explain.
And so, and I mean that. I hope people are paying attention to what's going on with the stories that we have right now. I don't know what to expect from Trump, but this is not a typical administration. This is not a typical opposition. Chuck Schumer goes on TV saying they intentionally put in judges to block, they set up judges intentionally so that they could launch lawsuits against the administration and get injunctions every step of the way.
Yeah, bitch, welcome to politics. What do you fucking... Chuck Schumer said they have judges who can block things and they're working with, like, no fucking shit, retard. What do you think the fucking... he's pretending to not understand that's like just basic politics right there, and he's trying to make it seem like the Democrats are evil. He's setting up these poor innocent judges are being replaced by these evil crooked judges, even though every fucking judge has a political, fucking allegiance to something or someone already, right? There's never been an unbiased judge, okay? The whole point of a court system is that, you still have to, like, have somebody who's gotten an education somewhere have to explain how, hang on. Yeah. Okay, sorry. You have to have somebody somewhere give an argument for why they're choosing to do something, right? That's because there's no real qualifications for being a Congress member or the president. You could literally not have the education and do so. I don't think that's even a requirement. But to be a judge, you need a law degree.
This is not about what is constitutional or what Trump can do. It is about Democrats going to war administratively with Trump, and now Trump is going to have to operate similarly. So there you go.
I mean, it's going to war against the will of the American people. The president was elected with a mandate. People knew what they were.
Was that the video?
People. The president was elected with a mandate. People knew what they were getting.
Is that me? I think that was just me. Okay.
So there you go.
I mean, it's going to war against.
I almost thought for a second there that Tim Pool's editors just put like a black frame in their video, but no, it was just my ass. Okay.
Against the will of the American people. The president was elected with a mandate. People knew what they were getting. People knew that he was going to create Doge. People knew that he was going to go after the bureaucracy. People knew that he was going to try to, quote unquote, drain the swamp. This is all in line with what he promised and what he was elected to do. And there's one other thing that I want to point out. If you're a libertarian, if you have libertarian leanings, Donald Trump is the most effective libertarian president we have seen since Calvin Coolidge.
Okay, listen. I know libertarianism is a joke ideology, and not many people actually meaningfully practice what libertarians like to preach. But like, if you have any sort of like earnest libertarian feelings in you, you can't support the administration that like it wants to arrest people with green cards and then get rid of the green cards and deport them, or randomly picking up like Germans and putting them in fucking cages for weeks on end. That's not really libertarian in my eyes. Libertarians shouldn't like the cops. They shouldn't like the state in general in ways that Trump loves the state.
Possibly since the actual founders, right? This administration has put more effort into shrinking the government and cutting waste than any other administration, definitely in my lifetime, probably any administration in the whole of the 20th century. So people that are saying, oh, I would want Donald Trump to do if you're a libertarian, that we're saying, I want Donald Trump to do this, to do that, etc. Give him time. This is
what is this? Listen. If you're a libertarian who maybe has the inkling of like a social progress in your heart and see these like random actions just being very blatant uses of government power to reach this weird social agenda they have, just wait. Please wait. Let them keep doing it. Just please wait. Yeah, okay. I don't care about this guy. This guy's fucking boring.
Building and said, hey, you want to go hang out for a little bit? I bet it sounds great. If you gave me a big empty building and said, hey, you want to go hang out for a little bit? I bet it sounds great. We'll skate. I can skateboard in a big empty building. Hey, we got one of those.
What are you talking
But if you say that you're going to sit in a room where some apathetic government employee is going to yell at you and tell you that boys are girls and girls are boys.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, this is the thing here. Tim's going to be like, school should be about teaching the real shit, not this woke crap, says the late 30s man who's bald and crying about it on his fucking gay ass fucking wannabe Wild West show set. What the fuck? Yeah.
That's awful.
And schools nowadays, they're not designed, in fact, not even nowadays, for a long time, they haven't been designed to actually teach people important things that they need to know. How many times have you heard people say, you know, I didn't learn how to balance my checkbook, or I didn't learn.
So this is like a very repeated lie that like parents give, I usually assume, or conservatives give. They do have classes for that. You are required to take a finances class. Now, is American schooling effective at teaching things? The answer is usually no, because schools are underfunded and overcrowded. There's not enough teachers, because being a teacher in the United States does not pay well. It's usually a very secure job. You're not gonna be fired for any you're not gonna be fired because like, oh, the budget doesn't call for it anymore, right? You get fired for disciplinary reasons, right? But like, there's no like decent incentive to become a teacher, right? So you're not gonna have many teachers in school. You have teachers not wanting to be a teacher, especially in like a poor school district where they don't get paid that much. You have classrooms with more and more kids because there's usually more and more people, population increases, whatever. It's a bad environment. It's not effective. At the same time, school districts do cheap out on things. They'll gladly have the teaching curriculum give kids 1 million worksheets to do every day until, they eventually learn something with a test and don't actually teach. Give them shitty fucking laptops, Google Chromebooks, and just tell them, do the thing on the Chromebook, and then the period's over, then move on to the next period. All that shit. I was in high school when that shit was starting, and I got out, thankfully. I could never imagine being in elementary, middle, or high school during COVID. That shit sounds so ass. That sounds so shitty. Awful. Oh, man. But, yeah, the school system has problems, but they do usually require you to take one financial class. Maybe your kid didn't give a shit because they don't have money or a reason to worry about finances because they're a fucking kid. Whatever. But yeah, they always say this. They always say, where's the welding class? Where's the car maintenance class? And it's like, I don't know, man. They're optional. Tell your kid to take them if you want the kid to know about that shit.
About how our financial system works, or I didn't learn how I should actually save money. The schools that were set up or the way schools are set up in the 40s and 50s and stuff, they became a way to get people ready to work in an industrialized society that no longer exists, with the bells to change classes and the
that's dumb anyway.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Remember back in the 50s when kids brought their guns to school?
Yeah.
And they had rifle classes and shooting.
What was that?
What the fuck are they being serious? I hope not.
What was that shooting in Texas at the bell tower or whatever? You remember that one?
Yeah. Oh, the college.
And then a bunch of people who had guns ran out to try and fired at him, suppressed the shooter.
Oh, fuck my ass. Shut the fuck up. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. Oh, well, guns are cool. There should be guns in school to shoot at the shooter. Remember when people got guns in school? Bro, you're in your 30s. The only guys who brought guns to school were the Columbine kids, and you were scared fucking shitless. Shut up.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, kids would bring their rifles to
back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day. Who the fuck is this guy? He looks fucking stupid. Go away next to your fucking cock painting. Fuck you. The 16 guitars. They've never seen a single fucking pick touch them in their life. That's a bass. Never mind. Basses do use picks too, so maybe it applies. But fuck United States Marine Corps. Shut the fuck up, you loser. No, you didn't bring guns to your fucking school, you dumb fuck. Oh my god. Maybe you did because you want to do a school shooting yourself, you fucking nebbish looking shithead. God damn it. Ugh. That was so fucking stupid. These men are so fucking stupid and they have media careers. Think about that. Fuck me. So yeah, that's another thing. Our Melon's right there. Schools do have welding classes. They have mechanics classes. They have deeper financial classes, investment classes. But they also have a bunch of liberal arts classes. And parents usually want their kids to do that because kids usually enjoy doing that more than they do enjoy replacing a fucking spark plug. but also because the parents usually assume their kid's gonna go to college and get some higher degree that does not involve being a little wrench-turning monkey person like all of us working class people are, right? Unfortunately, it's not the case anymore, and I do agree that maybe curriculum should be changed to be more suited towards, being a service worker or being a, mid-level, lower middle class industrial worker, than being someone, working in an office, right? Especially since the offices are now basically either some sort of weird, woke, not woke, coddling Google headquarters fucking playpen that's pretending to do anything like productive, or it's you're at home on a computer and in a fucking Teams chat somewhere. God damn it! But like the fucking gun thing is so fucking stupid. Oh my god.
What, you had that at school?
I lived in the woods. You can have it in.
I need. Fuck me. This guy's the fucking Beverly Hillbillies. Fuck off. Fucking. I lived in the compound. I live at Waco, Texas, in a compound before a bunch of guys got around and started shooting ass with guns and then caught on fire. That's where I live. Fuck you.
If they're sitting up in the truck, you can have the rifle.
You'd go to school with the rifle.
What the this is parody. What the fuck?
Well, did they have rifle class?
No, we did not. But we were big.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a fucking elementary or middle school class where it's like, hey kids, grab your fucking guns and go shoot at things until you're accurate. What are you talking about, man? Fuck me. Fuck me, man.
Hunting community. We lived in the woods. So
Schools used to have rifle class.
yeah.
He asks you if there's a rifle class. He says no, and then he says, yeah, rifle classes existed. Who the fuck is this guy? How many freaks do they have at Tim Pool's compound? Why is this guy also wearing a beanie? Is that like a requirement? You have to wear a hat of some kind? You can't show... Is that a requirement? Oh, it'd be funny as fuck if Tim's like subtly telling his kids to like... Not his kids, his fucking... Basically his kids, but his little fucking dipshit, nebbish followers, like we should all wear hats on the show. We should all wear hats on the show. It's not because I have any sort of insecurities about my bald fucking head, but because it kind of makes us look like a group. Because he doesn't want to wear anything else. So all these guys with full heads of hair are wearing hats too because you get mad if they weren't. But yeah, what's this fucking cool guy gonna say now? Go.
In my high school in Idaho in 2008, 2009, people had.
Really?
rifles,
That's
like,
not
shot-
Idaho. I could maybe believe this if you live in the middle of fucking podunk nowhere where no one else lives. Sure. And most of the kids in the school would end up marrying all the other kids in the school and they're all cousins. Yes, I believe that. Sure. In the real fucking world, no, the kids in fucking Brooklyn aren't going to school and going to rifle shooting class, you fucking dipshit. Let alone the kids in Charlotte, North Carolina, or Charleston, South Carolina, or fucking Tallahassee. Like no, that's not gonna be the fucking case, retard. All right, going insane.
that long
It's
ago.
not that long ago. 30 years ago.
Not
20
that long ago. You should bring out your slaves and shoot them. Like that's what these fucking retards are saying. They're like they want to get back to like the colonial bullshit. Rugged individualist. There wasn't a government to tell me what to do type of bullshit. That's what they want. Fuck me, kill me, fuck. No.
I was an adult man at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in high school in the late 80s and early 90s, and
Oh, we can tell, buddy.
like there were like I lived in Massachusetts suburbs and stuff, but if you had a gun, if you had like a rifle in your truck or whatever, no one would even think that there was going to be a problem. That was so far outside of anyone's mind.
And
you know?
talking about learning stuff, they don't do trade classes anymore.
They do the trade classes exist. They do. This guy's lying. This guy with the two chins, he's lying to you.
No.
They don't do anything that's useful to, like, Tim, I heard you ranted today about college, or every day, about how college can be useless. They don't teach people how to build anything, how to use screwdrivers, how to use drill guns.
They do. It's just not compulsory. You're not required to do so. That's why.
How to do mechanics, how to work on your
What's a
car.
screwdriver?
It's mostly useless.
People know what a fucking screwdriver is, you actual dolt. First off, I would argue this much. A lot of, like, household required mechanical knowledge is not difficult to learn. You don't need to learn that much to do so, you know? And at the same time, the internet's usually a good enough guide to do some basic shit, you know? It's usually pretty self-explanatory. And yes, the average person knows what a fucking screwdriver is. Are you... Oh, God. This is like... I don't know if I want to bring it up, but, like, there was a video, again, I saw posted on Twitter that got really big. It was like some fucking dipshit at a Home Depot, and it's like definitely either near closing time or right when it opens, because it was fucking empty, except for like the 4 employees there who all look like they're in their early 20s, because, you know, they're wage workers, they're service workers, right? And he walks in and he asks, hey, do y'all know where I can get a left-handed hammer? Do y'all know where I can get a left-handed hammer, right? You know, he just repeats himself doing that. He's shitty. And the employees are like pulling out their phones because they have an app on their phones that helps them inventory the fucking store. But like the video is very explicitly him trying to show like these stupid kids don't know what a fucking left-handed hammer is, which is such a weird, specific, out of the way, stupid, not necessary. I've never had to use one in my entire life, even though I work with tools all the fucking time. Tool that no one should know what the fuck that is, except for a dipshit. But yeah, no, that's the same fucking mentality here, right? These guys not only want to have these guys learn about different tools, but also it would hate them if they didn't know everything immediately right now. Okay. Do these fucking just keep going?
I've heard that before.
You know what's funny is that I went to Catholic school for a few years, and it was private and it was expensive. And then when I started 6th grade, I switched to public school. Wow, is it night and day? The funny thing is, though,
I can't believe the private Catholic school and the public school that even the poors get to go to are different. It's so crazy, man.
The woke have been trying to do what the left has been trying to do through
the woke has been trying to do. Fucking gun to my head, kill me.
Through the Department of Education and through public schooling is essentially.
Has the woke been around since the 1970s? Is that the case?
Indoctrinate people to their religion.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand, you know, like when Sam Cedar was in that debate with Eleazar Perez, he does not comprehend what religion is. You know, in his mind, he's got like an 8th grade understanding of the word religion. He thinks it means like fairy tale, you know, fairy tale rules or whatever. And
is Tim trying to be like a trad calf or something? Ugh, gross.
Instead of moral traditions and things like that. So when you look at what the left is trying to implement through wokeness in schools, the reason why you see all these videos of teachers with, you know, pride flags and BLML stuff, they are trying not to educate, to teach math. No, they were saying 2 + 2 = 5.
Where? What? When? Fuck me. Fuck. You know what's funny? Is that Tim Pool's main audience is not people my age, not people his age even. He broadcasts and gets watched by middle-aged people who would believe everything he says, because if you've met a middle-aged person, especially a middle-aged American, especially a conservative middle-aged American, they are some of the most cynical, I'll believe anything negative if you told me it, people on the fucking planet. So we can say random anecdotes like they said 2 + 2 = 5, and they'll fucking believe it because they also believe everything's broken and shitty nowadays, even though it's not. Fucking brain broken people, man. Okay. This is stupid. No one cares. What else do I have on the docket here? This should be good. Okay. I'm sorry. I know. A lot of Elon Musk recently. I'm sorry. He's only the fucking shadow president, okay? But apparently Ted Cruz has a fucking podcast, which sounds awful. And 4 days ago, he had Elon Musk on, and I want to hear Musk talk about all of his recent issues with Tesla. I want to hear it from the lizard person's mouth, okay? So if you'll join me for this, let's go. Ugh. Fucking fake country music.
Welcome. It is Verdict with Senator Ted Cruz, Ben Ferguson with you, and today is a really fun day, Senator, because we have.
Okay, first off, let's talk about the outfits here. Okay, generic suits, that's fine. That tie looks really fucking dumb, but whatever. The cowboy boots look fucking stupid as fuck, but whatever. And then Elon here with his all black, with his tucked in t-shirt showing his belly, which is not a good look, fam. No, even if you have like a slight belly, you should have the shirt untucked and flowing out a bit. Just don't make it look like you don't skin tight tuck that shit in, dude. Come on. God, it looks awful. The school shooter trench coat, it's not even a full trench coat, and then like this all black because he can't dress himself, and he got a haircut, dude. He has like the fucking Is this after he got the haircut? He got like the fucking like full on like what's that Nazi's name again? The like original 2010s like Airnet Nazi, Richard Spencer like side shaven cut. Anyways, but let's hear what these fucking creeps in the White House have to say about the Elon. Go.
Have a special guest, and we're in a special place. I'm going to let you do the rest of the intro.
Well, we're in the White House right now, and we're here with my friend.
The guy who made Chernobyl and The Last of Us adaptation was Ted Cruz's college roommate. That's crazy. Armelon, I also have that up. Don't worry. I won't watch the whole of either of these two things because they're both long, but I'll just see if anything entertaining happens. But I do have that one.
Elon Musk, who really has not been doing much of anything, has not made any news, and nobody has known.
First off, Ted Cruz has quite the goiter now. If you look at his neck there, he didn't have that. His face is very drippy for a man's face, and his hair is not holding on there that well. And there was one point in time where Ted Cruz looked almost halfway decent, and it was between 2016 and 2020. It's when he had a beard, like a full beard. Hang on, Ted Cruz beard. I know it's really gross seeing him, but like, not that. Where was it? Son of a bitch. Yeah, he had like a beard in like 2018 or 19, and it looked halfway decent. But now it looks like shit. Now it's like all scraggly and thin. Ew. Okay.
Yeah. The impact. Welcome, Elon.
Thank you.
Holy crap.
Yes. Well.
Let me just say.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. The first 50 days the president has spent
Dude,
in
he's
office
duded. Look at him.
Over the top. And the first 50 days you've spent, I don't think...
What kind of fucking head nod is that? Oh my God.
There's ever been anyone to have an impact the way you have at the beginning. Well, let me start with a question you know a lot about. Which was worse, the mess you found at Twitter or the mess you found in the federal government?
Well, it's hard to compete with the federal government.
What surprised you about the federal government? I assume you came in and assumed it was bad. Is it?
Oh no, yeah, the Doge sign in the background. It's like, it's not even centered. You know why it's not centered on the fireplace here? Because A, it doesn't actually light. That's not in the White House. It can't be in the fucking White House. If that's in the White House, we should have another War of 1812 incident occur at the White House if that's the fucking case. But it's not centered because it'd be like out of frame because of that guy's fucking big fucking stupid head, right? He like leaned forward too much and you wouldn't see all of Doge. So either Cruz or Elon or somebody said, move it to the left a little bit so it's always in frame. But now it looks like shit because it's not centered on the fucking giant fireplace. Okay.
Worse than you expected?
It is worse than I expected, but on the plus side, that means there's more opportunity for improvement. So if you look on the bright side, there's actually a lot of opportunity for improvement in federal government expenditures because it's so bad. If it was a well-run ship, it would be very difficult to improve.
So
so now it's like if people say, well, how will you figure out how to save money in the federal government? Well, it's like being in a room where the walls, the roof, and the floor are all targets. So you shoot in any direction.
Yeah, and you're
going to
win.
Miss.
Wow.
Again, I'm sure you would agree.
So a lot of folks have talked about like
God,
You can't miss.
You can't miss.
Can't miss. Yeah, just go any direction.
a lot of the crazy expenditures, things like $2 million for sex change surgeries in Guatemala,
An essential.
transgendered mice and Sesame Street in Iraq. A lot of that has gotten attention, but some of the stuff you've told me about, like tell us about computer licenses in government agencies.
Yeah. So most of what Doge is finding, you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes. Okay, it's very obvious, basic stuff. So in every government department, I say every because we've not yet found a single exception. There are far too many software licenses and media subscriptions, meaning many more software licenses and media subscriptions than there are humans in the department.
Like you were saying, like an agency with 15,000 people might have 30,000 licenses.
Yes.
that's fucking. Wait, hang on. Wait. Yeah, 15,000 people. Are those all the exact same license? Is that the case? And you can order a license. You can order multiple. That's not like surprising or anything. Like what? Also, he says like we shouldn't have software licenses and news subscription licenses and that. And it's like the Politico stuff, which is what they're talking about. By the way, they're talking about Politico. Politico is a politics news source. It's a website, but also has the Politico Pro subscription you can do, right? Which is not something a normal person can get. It's usually for like businesses and the government. That's what it's designed to do, is to give like on the minute political coverage, right? And as you could fucking imagine, a government agency could really do with that. You know, they could really use that because that's how they monitor the rest of the government, how they monitor state and local governments too, right? That's the whole fucking point, you know? And that's why Obama used them, you know? Trump used them. Actually, he was really there. Okay, and Obama started using it, but Trump was there when like it really took full swing as the thing the government started using, and he used it. Like it's not like a bipartisan thing. It was a bipartisan service, but they got rid of that. As for like software licenses, it's like yeah, the government's gonna buy Microsoft. Okay, it's an American operating system. That's why I've used government computers before. Yeah, it's not the most effective, sure, but like, what's the alternative here? We're gonna not use operating systems that like aren't like. We're gonna use free operating systems. We're gonna use Linux. Yes, Elon's gonna switch the entire federal government over to Linux, and you'll see a million things just shut down if he does that. Are you kidding me? You think a 48-year-old man can use Linux properly? No, not the normal ones. You know, maybe the nerds can. But no. Elon's gonna switch everyone to Linux or some shit. How gay.
And even of the 15,000 employees, a good chunk of them hadn't used the license, had never logged on or used the application.
Yes. We found entire situations of software licenses or media subscriptions where there were 0 logins.
Wow.
So it had
and yet we were paying for it.
Yes, so the government was paying for thousands of licenses of software or media subscriptions, and no one had ever logged in even once.
Or like credit cards. You found the same thing with government credit cards.
We found that there are twice as many credit cards as there are humans.
Could
that's just
and I still don't have a good explanation for why this is the case. And these are $10,000 limit cards. So it's a lot of money.
Is it incompetence that you're finding, or is this like the big?
Okay, well, how can I spin this for my federal overseers? Yeah, it's a contingency. What are you talking about? Or is he talking about like per diem cards they give out for like travel? Because they make those. That's the thing. If you're going like travel, the government will pay you to do it if it's like approved travel. They'll have cards pre-made for you to go use, and then you give it back, and then they sort out what you spent, what you didn't spend, you know. And it's a fucking credit card. If you don't use it, then it's not costing you anything. Whatever.
Biggest money laundering scheme in the history of the world that you're finding?
Look, I think it's mostly, if you say, look, what's the waste to fraud ratio?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's like 80% waste, 20% fraud. But you do have these sort of gray areas.
Yeah.
Example.
We have
Example would be-
scientific explanations here.
So we saw a lot of payments going out of Treasury that had no payment code and no explanation for the payment. And then we're trying to figure out what that payment is, and we'd see that, okay, that contract was supposed to be shut off, but someone forgot to shut off that contract, and so the company kept getting money.
Wow.
Now, is that waste or fraud?
Yeah, both.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
But
both.
it's sort of
If
a
you
gray
know you're
area
getting something
because-
you're
Sure. I mean, there's what's that old truism where it's like never attribute the malice what you could towards ignorance, right? Maybe that's the case. I can't really believe anything Elon says for the most part. I just want to see if he's like making a fool of himself or not. Is there a part in this podcast where they talk about not Doge? Because Doge is fucking stupid anyways. I want him to talk about Teslas, huh? Computer money.
Said, you said, look, I don't want a job in Washington, and you said,
Shut up.
been this transparent ever.
so 5 years ago, you were a hero to the left. You were cool.
No, he wasn't. You fucking. Oh, Christ.
You had electric cars. You had space. And in 5 years, you've
I
gone.
could go to a party in Hollywood and not get dirty looks.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah.
And
Now you might not even get invited.
I think it's
Still get invited, but I don't know if I should go.
and I don't think it's an exaggeration.
That's a hint. Elon, we have text messages from was it St. Clair? Some fucking chick he got preggers. She's leaked text messages where he talks like a 16-year-old and he says like he's constantly scared for his life and getting death threats and he's living on the edge for it. Maybe that's him acknowledging that subtly. Okay.
To say today, after Donald Trump, the left hates you more than any person on earth.
Yes, I appear to be number two. I mean, if you're judged by the various signs,
It's derangement. It's Trump derangement syndrome and Elon derangement syndrome.
Yes.
How is it that for you? That's
We
a
have a
little
video
bit
on
of
that soon, don't
whiplash
worry.
of going from being like Mr. Cool to the devil incarnate in just a couple of years.
First off, I'll say this much. Even growing up, if you thought Elon was like Mr. Cool, you have to reevaluate what you think the word cool means, right? Like he was cool to like Redditors, right? They thought he was cool. Like weird futurists thought he was cool, even though like nowadays talk about like going to space or colonizing planets right now. Either you are Elon Musk or you are some like right-wing shithead, or you are laughed at instantly. But like, yeah, he had like an electric car company. You know what the average conservative thinks of electric cars? They thought they were gay, right? They still do. They might say the Teslas are kind of cool though, or some shit because that you've now aligned to their values. But it was all literally all of this is because Elon, like after he broke up with Grimes and his kids disavowed him, and he has the one daughter who is trans. Literally, that's the reason why his brain is broken. Okay, I want to hear him talk about Doge.
Hundreds of billions. What do you think the scale is of that?
I think across the country, it's well by bringing.
The commies in California can't stand you.
There's no communists in California. Maybe there are some, like, there are some, but Gavin Newsom isn't a communist. Does he talk about Tesla anywhere? I want to hear him talk about the fucking evil, racist, domestic terrorists threatening you. Okay, here we go.
Could they actually nominate a movie that human beings go watch?
I mean,
What?
which was in California, but worse.
Oh my god, it's just fucking. You know what this is? This is gonna be because he lives in Texas too. This fucking asshole. He's just two Texans going like, California, am I right? California, bottom Tex. Fuck me.
Them.
He's not even Gendo. Gendo from Evangelion was like competent. He had plans, and those plans were smart. Yeah, he abandons his children, but like, Gendo at least had a wife he loves. I don't think Elon's got that.
They will then further cement that by bringing in even more aliens. So you
oh
can't vote your way
no,
out of
7 trillion legal immigrants. There's more immigrants than people. He loves saying there's more X than people. It's his favorite thing.
Because at least California is mitigated by the fact that someone can leave
Right,
California.
you can go to Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
but
you
they're
did.
going to make everywhere California a bit worse.
By the way, the middle of the pandemic, I spent 45 minutes on the phone with Elon.
In the middle of pandemic, you fucking fled your state because it was freezing over.
He was still in California. I was walking my dog, Snowflake, and trying to convince you, come to Texas. The commies in California can't stand you. We love you. We want you.
Don't move to Texas. Do not. If you want to move to a cheaper state, there are plenty of those. Just not Texas.
Here.
Yeah.
And you didn't quite go then, but you went not that long afterwards.
I mean, the COVID actions almost killed Tesla because
we should have done more then. Fuck. I want to hear you talk about movies earlier, and I like movies. Where's that at?
Wow.
So they almost killed Tesla.
So, as a personal matter, do you ever regret it? Like 5 years ago, you go to the Oscars and we're Mr. Cool, and now you've got death threats every day. Like, do you?
Well, these days the Oscars are boring.
I mean, he's not wrong. I've heard the newest one, current Oscars. Okay, with Conan was pretty good, but like the Oscars are kind of boring. I can agree with him on that much. Okay. It really is usually a Disney / Hollywood like self-JO sesh. But I imagine if I was invited to the fucking Oscars, I'd go because there's all these rich, cool celebrities there. But he's just saying this because he's not invited right now. So it is sour grapes for him, I guess.
I wouldn't want to go.
God bless the movies they nominate. No one on earth has ever seen. Like, could they?
What? What the fuck is... I want to hear Ted Cruz's opinion about movies. What movies have people not seen on the Oscars, right? No one's seen Oppenheimer. No one's seen Dune 2. No one's... What? Keep going, please.
They actually nominate a movie that human beings go watch?
I mean, how many great movies have come out in the last several years?
Lots! A lot of great movies.
Very few.
Depressingly few.
Yeah.
Fucking like what? I want fuck me, man. I want to hear Elon talk about movies, dude. I bet he's so smart. Come on, please.
Yeah, very few. The last Oscars came and went. I didn't even watch it. There's nothing to see.
I was sad that Gene Hackman just passed away because Unforgiven was spectacular, but that was a long time ago that Unforgiven came out.
You mentioned today here and before about the possibility of someone wanting to take you out, dealing with a death.
If only. Moving on. All right, here's now. This video is titled "How Liberalism Corrupts Christianity." I'm not an expert in Christianity. I knew enough at least to justify my irreligion because I'm not religious. I am an atheist, but I had to learn about Christianity in order to do so. But I also know bits here and there about history, and PaxTube is a giant nerd who is a trad calf because he likes epic history bullshit. But yeah, PaxTube's a trad calf. He's famous for like trying to say that anime girls are like peak femininity for Christian males or some dumb shit. Actually, he's more famous for like having like a weird old like Twitter mauled session after hearing that the VTuber Gargura, the one that's like a shark or whatever, that she had like a boyfriend or something, and he got very mad about that. Or like a black boyfriend or some shit. Whatever. He's just embarrassing, okay? He's an embarrassing person who's a tradcast. And this video is about how liberalism is corrupting Christianity or some shit. Now, will he go full on Protestants should be shot like a real tradcalf should? No. Why? Because Protestants vote for Trump, so he can't do that. But he will, like, essentially subtly say so. It's from 3 weeks ago. It's probably more about that one, what was she? Presbyterian? I forgot. That one pastor lady who, like, subtly took digs at J.D. Vance and Trump when they got elected. He's got to reference that 100%. He's made videos where he said, like, the Crusades were epic. The Spanish Inquisition was epic. Shit like that.
Destroy a religion, how would you, if your goal was to destroy a religion, how would you do it? What better way than corrupting it?
What the fuck is going on with YouTube today, man?
If your goal was to destroy a religion, how would you do it? What better way than corrupting it from the inside?
It's that lady. That's the lady I'm talking about. That's the lady who did a church service after the inauguration and like suddenly said like, hey, immigrants shouldn't be tossed into volcanoes, right? She said that much. And every conservative got super fucking mad about it.
Making it an enemy of itself. In the United States and Europe in the 2020s, things are happening in Christianity that were unheard of for 2,000 years. Entire Christian denominations teach that sexual morality doesn't exist.
Doubt.
That women...
When he says sexual morality, he's just saying they're teaching that gay people should be left alone to do their own gay things. That's sexual immorality to them.
Men can be priests because...
That's been the case for, like, decades. What are you talking about?
There's no difference between men and women. And even that all religions and non-religions are equally valid.
That's just how it's going to work in a secular country where you can't use the state to enforce a religion. Like, first off, there have been plenty of societies and states where you've had other people of other religions living in the same fucking area, and they go along just fucking fine. It's not a new concept.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children. Some...
That's true, correct. They exist.
...who fear for their lives.
Correct.
Fortunately.
He's mad about that statement, which is the fucking funniest thing with this whole the conservatives and transgender people, right? Is that conservatives don't want to actually talk about their problem with it, because if they talk about their problem with transgender people, they don't want to talk about their solution to it, right? Right now they'll say there's transgender propaganda, there's transgender education and evil government grooming and their bullshit, right? But their actual problem is, I don't like seeing transgender people. It's the same problem they had in the 2000s about gay people. Their original problem was, I don't like seeing gay people, right? They don't like the existence of them. And the issue that they understand is that that's going to always exist. There will always be gay people. There will always be lesbians. There will always be transgender people, right? They didn't magically exist because of some weird government psyop or evil Jewish cabal. They just existed and are now getting any bit of like recognition and support that they've ever had, right? They're mad about that. They want that shit to go back. They want to go back to a time when if you were gay, you would get beaten by your parents until you pretended to stop being gay, or were attacked by the locals. If you were trans, you would constantly get attacked by men who thought you were not trans or some shit, right? That's what they want. That's a solution they want. They can't say that because it's very obviously violent speech, but, you know, they'll do everything else. Fuck.
There are many Christian denominations who reject these beliefs, but they have still spread to a disturbing level. These views and others like them would have horrified Christians of even 100 years ago.
Yes, those same people were all abused as children and died in their 40s. I don't give a shit.
But how did things get?
You know what else they agreed 100 years ago? Like horrible forms of racism and sexism that would discuss PaxTube right now because he was raised in a liberal society that does not allow those things, but he's gonna pretend he thinks it's okay or would like to go back to it. That's the fucking funniest thing, is that every every wannabe trad conservative fucking right-wing dipshit who wants to bring back traditional values would not last a fucking day 100 years ago, let alone 50 years ago. Are you kidding me? No.
Get this way. One major cause is the influence of liberalism.
Armelon, they understand that. They do understand that. It's just they don't want to acknowledge that reality, because then you could logically ask them, what would you want to do about it? Because the answer to that would be violence, and that's what they want, but they can't say it. Oh, liberalism, how evil. I say on the YouTube channel that is designed around the liberal economic system that's allowed me to make this fucking shit video. Yeah.
On Christianity. To be clear, liberalism in this sense is different from how it's used in contemporary American politics. Both the Democrat and Republican parties are liberal parties.
Maybe.
They both believe in and support the political philosophy of liberalism. With liberal democracies from France to America experiencing a period of rapid decline, liberalism across the world is on the retreat. One of the things
It's not. This guy's dumb.
This video will show is how liberalism's fatal flaws were predicted by Christian thinkers.
Oh boy.
So what exactly is liberalism? Liberalism first emerged in Western Europe and the Americas as a political movement seeking to put what they saw as Enlightenment principles into government. Liberalism defines itself as individualistic, anti-authoritarian, and focused on natural rights. Now, Christianity as a religion with collective responsibilities, authoritarian rules, and traditionalistic values has always been treated by liberalism with suspicion.
No. What? No. Sometimes. Maybe? No. Okay. Liberalism. Yes, it has grown since the Enlightenment period to be a growing and ever more dominant cultural and social system, right? Which is individualistic, is more towards free expression, but it's also the system that enables capitalism. If you paid attention, TaxTube, you'd understand those go hand in hand. Those go very hand in hand together. Liberalism and capitalism, right? Or at least the furtherance of free trade, individual property rights, all that stuff, right? Christianity as a religion molded to work with that, including Catholicism. And let's not act as if Catholicism has never had changes to what they view as tradition or favored individual profit versus collective profit, or was even used for anti-authoritarian, actions, right?
Even at times, outright hostility. It's important to note that liberalism is a political philosophy, whereas Christianity is a religion.
Religions are political philosophies. That's just the case. They're not separate. They're almost the same thing. I mean, it's just religion's harder to express a political, power structure over larger societies. But like on a local community level, most of your actions are dictated usually by your local religion as what's appropriate or not, and your laws will conform to that basis, right? This is the same guy who would say that like American law is based on traditional Christian values, but he's gonna say actually liberalism, which also is what America's based on, is totally different from Christianity, which it's not. Its ideas definitely stem from that. Sure.
Principle, the religious and political realm can work in harmony and not be in conflict. However, liberalism creates a conflict with how it treats Christianity in historically Christian countries.
Every liberal country was Christian when it started. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now, you could bring up Protestantism. It's very easy. You could very easily point out how the decline in Catholic power coincided with the rise in Protestant power, and Protestant countries are ones who embrace free trade and the middle class, and liberalism, which is the political philosophy of the middle class. But I'm afraid he might not do that because he doesn't want to make any Christians offended. At least not the ones that he doesn't view as woke, which would include lots and lots of Protestants.
Liberalism is heavily associated with the principles of 1789, that is, those of the French Revolution. One of those core principles.
You know what country was made before revolutionary France? What great big document was also super liberal? The United States Constitution and Declaration of Independence. Both of them are like liberal-er writings, okay? They're like what other countries base their liberalism on, including the fucking French Revolution. Will he bring that up? The answer is no.
Principles is the abolition of any kind of authority derived from God.
That's been the case for lots of countries beforehand, by the way. There have been plenty of countries that had said, The authority of the government does not come from religion at this moment. It comes from the government and the people and taxpayers and landowners. That's not a new thing.
This isn't just a trait of French liberalism, but of all liberalism. Liberalism supports the religious agnosticism of the state.
That's not been the case. It was not the case in the United States until rather recently, in historical terms.
Meaning no religion takes priority over any other.
Oh my fucking this whole bullshit fucking idea that like no religion, atheism is a religion all of its own. What year is it? 2011? We're not debating religion. Christ. Yeah, we are. Fuck. Okay.
At least on paper. Countries like America today.
Yep. By the way, another cool thing about Pax Tube is that he is fiercely anti-Semitic. Not like I dislike Israel because it's a violent apartheid state. No. He like actually just hates Jews. That's just the thing about him, right? He hates them. Which means he obviously hates Israel. Which means that in some really fucked up logic, he supports Gaza and Palestinians, right? And you're like, okay, well, I mean, at least at this time, the clock's striking is right. You know, the clock's in the right time, at least for that issue. But at the same time, this fucking guy like wants to get rid of Islam too, right? He made a video saying the Crusades were completely justified. That's definitely at odds with saying that like we should fight for Palestinian or Gazan rights and defy Israel's occupation. Yeah, he's wildly inconsistent.
Today clearly lack a separation of synagogue and state.
That's just fucking that's like Hitler shit. I'm sorry. Holy fuck. Don't get me wrong. Israel is definitely an ethno-religious state that wants to focus on only advancing the rights of Jewish people and people who were ethnically Jewish. But like saying that about the United States is like actual like 1920s like anti-Semitism. You might as well have the evil octopus with the long nose covering the planet, you fucking shithead. Yes, that was funny. That's because America is politically tied towards Israel in this weird dependency state. What he thinks is happening is that like the evil Jews control Trump or something, which is really funny. But like, no, Israel is a country America is fucked into deference for because of a long series of like weird Cold War tensions and other shit. Oh, fuck me. No, he would lose his shit if he realized that like Jesus was a Jew himself, or let alone the fact that like all of his followers were Jewish and there wasn't Christianity at that point when he was alive. But whatever, yeah, sure.
At a quick glance, many things liberals believe sound almost Christian. Human rights, protecting freedom, delivering justice for all.
What horrible things. What horrible things.
But the devil is in the details. Liberalism and Christianity have entirely different foundations and definitions for all of these words. While Christians believe in a divine basis of morality that guides their view of rights and freedoms, liberals do not. To liberalism, natural rights simply exist and have nothing really to do with God.
Wrong. Both are wrong, but like definitionally, a smart liberal who's not like an idiot would say that you're wrong. Liberals understand that rights don't actually exist. If you're out in the fucking middle of the forest, you don't have rights. You have nothing. You are just a stupid animal, okay? You can get fucking anything can happen to you. No one has any reason to do anything to help you, right? Rights exist because a state exists, and that state itself is what supports and enforces the rights that you have, right? Those are rights. They aren't natural, okay? They are given to you because from the government for no cost. You know, you're born into it. So usually they mean natural, as in like naturalized, and then like you live in our country, a liberal country, you're gonna get the rights that we give you. But like, no, they don't think that like you just get rights for no reason, haha. Which is what he thinks, right? Because he thinks actually rights come from divine authority because of God, which is like, buddy, a million bad things have happened to Christians, and your God has done nothing to stop it. Maybe you don't have those rights either. Maybe those are also fake, huh? Okay.
Christians believe society should be based on families. Liberalism believes it should be based on individuals and minority groups.
That's not the fucking case, you actual mental idiot. Oh, fuck me. Oh my god. It's so gay. It's so gay. First off, like, he has to piss some Christians off, you know? He really has to. His whole plan in this video is just to say, like, liberalism is infecting Christians who otherwise wouldn't have acted individualistic or be accepting of minorities, which, when he says immigration here, he means brown people, which is funny because I'm pretty sure for most of its existence, the vast majority of Christians have been what any like weird white nationalist prick like him would say was a brown person, but whatever. Oh, Christ, I'm losing my fucking gourd in this thing. But, like, there have been a million Christians I've known who view God as like a personal best friend who forgives them for everything they do, right? It's not hard to be very individualistic and also be Christian. And yeah, he's not gonna say Catholicism. Does he even say Catholicism? Will he ever say those words in this video? I don't know. I keep pausing it. Maybe he does. We won't find out yet. But this is obviously wrong. When liberalism first came about, there was no acceptance for LGBTQ people. There was no acceptance for feminism or immigration. There was barely, when liberalism started as an ideology, there was barely acceptance for a white guy who didn't own land. Okay, you were barely a human in the eyes of liberals in like the 15th century, not the 15th, sorry, fuck, the 17th century, okay? Let alone the 19th or 18th, all of them, fuck it. Literally until like the 1920s, you were barely a human being if you didn't own land under a liberal country. Oh, fuck.
Groups. Consider today how liberal...
Well, Eurasianase, or Eurasianase, I'm not gonna pronounce that. Yeah, you're a Catholic by birth. You know what trad caps, probably also Pax too, but I don't know his personal story, but I can only assume. You know what trad caps and Pax too don't have in common with you? They didn't have to be raised in Catholicism. They were probably some form of like generic, non-practicing Christian Protestant of some kind in the United States, or even an atheist. They hit some wall in their mid-20s, or even late 20s, went, dang it, I don't have a girlfriend. Why is that? And they thought, oh, if I just pretended to be Catholic and trad, because I saw a bunch of fucking memes on the internet, and I was told if I read Thomas Aquinas, I look and sound like a smart person, then I'll have a girlfriend. That's the difference, okay? They aren't really Catholic, right?
Liberalism prides itself on things like feminism, LGBT rights, and mass immigration.
Yeah, today. But you know who also prides himself in these things? Lots of Christians. Go to Mexico. Ask them that question.
One could even call these things the cornerstone of modern liberalism.
It's not. You're so fucking stupid. The cornerstone is free trade and property ownership and capital ownership, you fucking idiot. Liberalism is also an economic philosophy. It's also encompassing capitalist ideals. Why else would it start in places like England and the Netherlands and the coastal Germany? Fuck. Keep going.
The early liberal writer Thomas Paine, author of the book Age of Reason,
The early liberal writer Thomas Paine loved gay people and loved trans people and talked about them all the time. No, he was so stupid. Yeah,
declared
sure.
that Christianity was not divinely inspired.
It's probably not, no. I mean, a lot of the founding fathers were like weird deists, right? They believed that, like, yeah, there's a God, but he's not like anything we thought of. We're just interpreting what we could imagine is what he wants. You know, they were, thinking rationally, using the scientific method to ponder out what could actually be the source of our ideals. Stuff like that, thinking. It's very hard, I know.
As an early liberal, he advocated Christianity having no place in law.
It shouldn't.
Many of the writers of the American Constitution were influenced by Paine and deism, and thus, despite many of them being Christian themselves, wrote a constitution that doesn't mention God once.
Thank fucking Christ.
And effectively states that all religions are equal.
Yep.
But Christian thinkers fought back against the beliefs of deism and
Well, no fucking shit they'd fight back. It's their fucking job. What are you talking about? The American Constitution doesn't say we have to have the Pope be in charge, and then some fucking guy named Pope Fucker 69 over here says, I disagree with that. No shit.
liberalism. In the mid-1800s, Pope Pius IX.
It's the Pope's fucking job to say, yes, rights are from God, God's everything. That's his fucking actual job. What is this gay bullshit? You couldn't have given me like some other 17th century guy wearing a wig and a coat and the stockings named like, I don't know, Gerard Buttfuck or some shit from the American Revolution who said, I disagree with the notion of deism. No, he couldn't give me that. He gave me fucking the Pope. Like, shut the fuck up.
Wrote that liberalism's religious indifference was antithetical to Catholicism.
I think it's funny. A fucking course antithetical. I think it's funny how like his video is him just like very calmly saying, but obviously, but there were counters to the idea that God doesn't belong in the law. The Pope said that they were wrong, and then I pause it and I go, this guy's a fucking idiot. I think that's funny. Because, like, you have, I mean, I could be a bit less rude here and just say, like, obviously the Pope would, I stopped myself there. Obviously the Pope himself would say that actually this government that's not beholden to me, the Pope, would be bad because I, the Pope, would like more governments to be beholden to me because that's what the Pope has always kind of been. But at the same time, I bet you Pope Pius was probably not that concerned with the ongoings of a bunch of Protestants living in the Americas, which he has still not said the word Protestant yet.
His most famous document on this matter was the 1864.
In a video about liberalism and Christianity, this man has pointed out more anti-Semitic conspiracy theories than he has saying the word fucking Protestantism. That's how brain broken he is, or how much of a little snake he is. Also, what a great JPEG. If you read this shit, either you should live in a monastery, or you should have gotten pushed into more lockers in school.
Syllabus of errors. It pointed out all the contradictions between liberalism and Catholicism. One of the
good thing the liberal countries weren't fucking Catholic.
Biggest was that in Catholic countries, liberals wanted to remove Catholicism as the religion of the state. The papacy had always advocated that in places where Catholics were the majority, Catholicism should also be the state religion. Liberalism rejected that.
That's cool, man. Sucks to suck. Eat shit. Have Catholics control the fucking government then, idiot.
Demanding a state that was religiously indifferent. Pope Pius warned that this religious indifference would lead to a corruption of public morals. He also pointed out many cases where liberals engaged in direct attacks on the church, such as confiscating its land and arresting clergy for performing their duties.
This has been a thing that's happened for centuries, and let's not act as if the Catholic Church hasn't taken some land that it shouldn't have owned for the means of making money, because the Catholic Church, especially after the Middle Ages, had definitely been the business of making money.
He finished by denouncing what he called the Synagogue of Satan.
Holy fucking shit, kill me. The Synagogue of Satan. I'm getting flashbacks to like 2013 Atheist Debate Bro YouTube, because I've heard of that before. It sounds like a cool band name, dude. You open up the metal show, right? There's a guy up there fucking, he says, "We are Synagogue of Satan!" And they fucking go into it, dude. That's what it is. Synagogue of Satan. Fuck yeah. Oh my fucking god, what year is it, bro? Come on.
For leading attacks on the church. They try to submit the Church of God to the most cruel servitude, to undermine the foundations on which it rests, to contaminate its...
Yeah, I wonder what issue this guy has with... I wonder what religion this guy has a bone to pick with. Is it Protestantism or is it something else? I can't tell. Oh look, the Synagogue of Satan. How interesting.
Blended qualities. And, moreover,
By the way, Pope Pius IX, if he was in the same room as Paxtube, he would A, call Paxtube really fat, and B, call him like some fucking like horrible slur for being a lazy white man who should get off the weird mechanical Jacobin computer device he's on and go till a fucking field where he belongs because he's not some born nobleman. But yeah, no, he's the authority we should listen to right now in 2025.
Moreover, to strike it with frequent blows, to shake it, to overthrow it, and, if possible, to make it disappear completely from the earth.
Good.
All subsequent popes echoed similar condemnations of liberalism.
That's their job.
The core problem being that liberalism demoted the place of divine and natural law to mere opinions. Pope Leo XIII wrote in the encyclical Immortal Dei, to hold that there is no difference in religions that are unlike each other, and even contrary to each other, most clearly leads in the end to the rejection of all religion in both theory and practice. This is the same thing as atheism. However,
oh my god, it's secularism, first off. Secondly, like, it's not even what we're saying. It's not even what a secular person believes, okay? They believe that in a secular government, they believe that in a secular government, religions shouldn't have one preference or the other when it comes to the state. The state shouldn't enforce a religion. The state's not looking at you and saying, listen, guy, okay, the Hindus and the Jews and the Muslims, they all believe the same shit. They're not saying that. They're saying those guys are free to practice their religion. We're not going to use the cops or the military to kill them if they don't, right? A thing Catholics have done in the past. Even to other Catholics. Look up the Albigensian Crusade. That shit's wild, trust me.
However, it may differ from it in name. The academic Bernard Laurent wrote in Catholicism and Liberalism, Two Ideologies in Confrontation. The different popes, each in his own way, never failed to lament the impact of this revolution on human values.
So is he gonna go do a thing where he's like, the popes had a long tradition of saying that they should have all the tax money and we shouldn't have the evil synagogue of Satan liberals controlling everything. He's gonna say that they've always done that until Pope Louis, the current pope, who's the evil woke pope, who this guy doesn't listen to, which is what a real Catholic doesn't do, right? A real Catholic defies the Pope constantly and doesn't acknowledge the organized part of their organized religion.
They all refuse to see society subordinated to individual freedom and to allow human and moral purpose to be thus undermined. In terms of economics, he wrote, the Church condemned a society that placed capital above work.
You live in the United States of America. If you don't like it, fucking leave, buddy. This is how it operates, okay? You want to change it, the guys you can vote for right now will not change it. Alright? They are not going to listen to you to change it.
Clashes between liberalism and Christianity weren't limited to the philosophical sphere. In many places, they also went to physical.
Oh no, is this the Spanish Civil War? Fuck me. He's gonna say the fucking Nazi scum fucks like Franco were the epic Catholics. He's gonna do that.
Physical war. Two prominent examples are the Cristero uprising in Mexico and the Spanish.
Yup! Just another mile away. Franco used Catholicism as an authoritarian would and used it to control people and to give his own orders divine status upon the fucking existing cast of like Spanish Catholic priests and cardinals and shit. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, the fucking Latino Hitler used religion. So did actual Hitler, which I bet this guy would deny because he even, I mean, unless he's gonna go full Holocaust now, but he, like, even he would understand like Hitler's not some guy you want to really say good things about. But Franco, go all nuts because a white person, the average stupid white American, doesn't know who Franco was. That's the issue.
Civil War of 1936 to 1939. Now that we've established the philosophical differences between liberalism,
it's not even you didn't do that. You didn't establish the differences. You just whined and said the Pope doesn't like this. The Pope doesn't like losing power from Protestants who already didn't like him, which you didn't mention. Oh my god, he really didn't mention it. Maybe he's one of those really deranged fucks who like doesn't acknowledge any like a reformation at all. Maybe he's one of those guys who like thinks like the Protestants never actually separated. They're still under the control. They just don't know it still. Or we're just gonna not acknowledge them and hope they just either reconvert or go away. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Keep going.
And Christianity, it's time to dive into exactly how liberalism corrupts Christianity today. There are two key ways it does this, from within and from the outside.
What? That's not two key ways, you moron. That's two areas it could then do their ways with. That's so stupid. This guy writes like an 8-year-old. Fuck.
Let's first look at how it undermines Christianity from within.
People of faith haven't always been welcoming to the LGBT community, and in fact, many times people of faith have been outright contemptuous of LGBT people, and Jesus' message was always...
Hang on. Who is this man? Who is this Father Jim Martin? Okay. He's a Jesuit. That's good. I was worried he wasn't. But yeah, he's a Jesuit. He's from Pennsylvania. He's an American. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, no, But yeah, this guy got radicalized after the Pulse nightclub shooting, where like 60 people got gunned down at a gay nightclub by some like religious nut job, which I bet PaxTube loves that. But yeah, no, so then this guy's like, there's actually a big issue with homophobia and anti-LGBTQ thought that leads to violent action in organized religion. I'm an ordained Jesuit priest. I could discuss that. Also, the Jesuits were always the most woke part of the Catholic Church. Let's be real here, okay? Like these are the guys who are like always about like perpetual poverty and chastity and such. They're like the guys who like went out to go find foreign people and convert them. Okay.
Always one of inclusion and welcome.
Oh, how fucking horrible. PaxTube, you fucking idiot. You're a moron. You're a Catholic. Your entire job is to convert everyone. You're supposed to be inclusive. How else can you convert everyone? Explain that. You're not even a good Christian. You're against conversion and converting people by not being inherently racist and homophobic towards them, you fucking cunt. All right.
First, liberalism creates a degenerate culture where behaviors that are forbidden in Christianity are tolerated and even promoted.
It's just a drag queen. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? What a horrible... Oh no, I'm so scared by this image. It's a fucking performer. If they were wearing a big mascot outfit, it'd be the same shit. Who gives a fuck? This is so scary. You fucking pussy. What are you talking about? How scary is this? So scary. Oh, fuck. You know what's really funny? I wish I could get this said more to more people at the right time, because it would make them very angry, right? But PaxTube here is obviously very pro VTuber. He definitely watches them. He got really mad when one VTuber, Gargura, was dating a man or some shit, whatever. You know, and you know what's funny is that VTubers are drag artists. Because they are. That'd be so funny if I get the right guy with that. But until then, this is like nothing. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? They're wearing an outfit. This is drag. How scary. Who gives a fuck? Stop being a fucking pussy.
Think of today how porn websites are on every computer.
You PaxTube, you probably jerk off 19 times a day. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I don't want to look at your browser history, buddy. It sounds scary. But yeah, no, there's porn websites everywhere. And it's like, yeah, it's the internet. You're not gonna... Good luck. Good luck getting rid of those. Okay, man.
Young girls are encouraged to start OnlyFans and take birth control.
They are not encouraged to start OnlyFans. Who the fuck encourages that? If a parent tells their child, especially when the child is not 18 or older, that they should make an OnlyFans when they are an adult. That parent should be seen by CPS. Okay, like don't do so. That's bad. All right, I'm not against sex work either. It's just like this is not a thing that's happening, right? Because it's fucking insane. I don't believe you. No, young girls aren't encouraged to start a fucking OnlyFans. It's just unfortunately with the shit economy we're given, a lot of young women have realized that if they just post hole behind a $5 paywall, some desperate shitty men named PaxTube will pay that $5 to see said hole and goon, okay? Womp womp sucks to suck. As if trad epic Catholic societies didn't also have rampant sex work. Do you know anything about the Renaissance? They legalized and regulated prostitution in various Italian cities during the Renaissance when the Catholic Church was at the height of its fucking power. Crazy. And take birth control. Would you rather abortions or birth control? Which one's worse? Probably to him, he doesn't like birth control. He doesn't like abortions because he doesn't like women and he wants women to be perpetually subjugated to the threat of being impregnated. It's what he wants. Okay.
Control. And people are told that their individual gratification is all that matters in life.
How do I do this? Okay. You know what's funny, buddy? The answer is yes. That's true. Congratulations. Welcome. You are yourself. You only have your own life. Once that life's gone, you're gone too. So you should act in a way that helps you feel good about living. That's what everyone does. You are a Catholic because it makes you feel good about yourself. You do it for your own gratification, 100%. But you'll say, but no, I do it to help the community and to help a bigger project. Why do you help those? Do you help build a Catholic, a trad calf project for no fucking reason? No, you do it because it makes you feel good, because you're building something. You go to a church and you see a bunch of people there for the same reason as you and you're all friends. That helps you out. You are also being gratified by these actions. Okay? Fuck. Personal gratification, individual gratification is not bad. Okay? It's a motive. It's just any sort of motivation that makes you feel good. There are bad things you can do for it and good things you can do for it, right? If there's too many bad things right now, which I guess you're saying, maybe talk about those specifically instead of just lying to us and saying we should not have individual gratification, because unfortunately every single society on the planet has focused on that and that alone. Okay, you could not give me a single example of a society not based around helping people become gratified individually. Okay, fuck.
Public schools outlaw teaching about God. While
good. You know what they don't do? They don't outlaw teaching about religion. They do so. You learn about Christianity. You learn about paganism. You learn about Islam and Judaism. You definitely learn about Judaism and Christianity because they are the two religions that most affected the United States culturally, right? No shit. If you want your kids to go learn about God, either go shell out the fucking money for your epic, totally non-profit private school, which is Catholic or whatever, or go take them to church on Sundays where they can learn all about God all they want all day long. Go fucking nuts. Who gives a shit? Not the fucking school whose job is to make sure your dumb kid knows how to fucking read and write. Different jobs.
While homosexuality and casual sex are promoted in television.
No, in television. Stupid. First off, media. Do you control the fucking media? Do you want media to be state controlled? The answer is yes. But like, he's not gonna say that. He's just gonna say the evil liberalism has made homosexuality a thing on television. How awful. I want television to be controlled. But no, not controlled, but like, just, I don't want that on TV magically if we just magically get rid of liberalism. Haha. Like, it's pretty obvious what he wants here. He wants to censor homosexuality on TV and casual sex. Buddy, you're not getting rid of those two things. Especially not casual sex. Cis people love that shit.
Tens of millions of people grow up in and are marinated in this culture.
Marinated? So are you, bitch.
diet they're fed of individualism and rejection of authority leads people to think that church hierarchies are.
First off, you're rejecting authority, and your ass is saying the U.S. government is controlled by the evil Jews. Sounds like you're anti-authoritarian, too.
Bad, and that their personal interpretation of God.
Church hierarchies are bad. I mean, yeah. That's a Protestant thing. Could you mention Protestantism, please? And then we can talk about that. Because those are the guys who said that first.
God should take priority.
That's exactly what you do, buddy.
The effects today are clear. These same people go to church and demand that Christianity change to match their liberal, degenerate values.
You know what's funny? You could probably, go to, 16th century Europe, go to one place in, Portugal, look at all the stuff the Catholic priests say there, and then go magically teleport yourself to, Denmark and go find a Catholic priest there and see what he says, and you could make an entire video just like this saying that, the evil wokeness of Denmark has corrupted Christianity to its core. Because that's what you're doing, except you're using like a fake version of Catholicism that does not exist or exists within weird tradcap circles, and comparing it to people who actually go outside and go to a Catholic church, and like this one here, and saying, "Oh, it's so different. You're being corrupted by evil liberalism." Fuck me.
A perfect example of this is homosexuality.
Oh,
Christianity has always taught that homosexual acts are a grave sin,
and they've also perpetuated them a lot. A lot. You can't argue about homosexuality and be a Catholic. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna bring up the pedophilia thing, okay? But homosexuality and Catholicism is pretty gay. Let's be a bit real here, okay? Alright, being in a big castle with other dudes and no women, with weird haircuts, doing nothing all day but chores and field work and reading and writing down the Bible again, over and over again, forever, is pretty gay, okay? And there has definitely been some gay shit going on there.
Against natural law. But liberal culture...
And there's no such thing as natural law.
...teaches the opposite, that homosexuality is fine, just another lifestyle choice.
It is. Do you have an argument against it?
These views are obviously irreconcilable. Pressure is then put on church officials to change Christian teaching to be more liberal. Many Christian denominations have done exactly this.
You could say this about racism too, because there's definitely passages in the Bible to support racism if you're gonna selectively choose things, right? But nobody is I still have never seen a single example of the government walking in with their evil liberal control police with guns pointed, screaming at a Catholic church to marry a gay couple. That's never happened. The churches that do so are the ones who choose to do so by the priest who runs the church. PaxTube, go take it up with them, not the entire concept of liberalism.
In 2024, the United Methodist Church removed its rule that homosexuality is incompatible with Christian teaching.
The United Methodist Church. The United Methodist Church, a mainline Protestant denomination based in the United States and a major part of Methodism. A shoot-off of Episcopalism. It's almost like they're not fucking Catholic and don't give a shit about all the bullshit you said earlier about the Pope, motherfucker. They're Protestants. Talk about Protestantism. Say the P word. I want to hear it, please.
Teaching. The Anglican Church and several other Protestant denominations.
Thank God he finally fucking did it. Guys, everyone, listen. 8 minutes in, he finally said the word Protestant about the video about liberalism and Christianity.
Did the same in recent decades. And even in denominations that officially teach homosexuality as a sin, many of their members ignore it.
Crazy! What should they do? What should they do instead? Punish them? Kick them out?
Catholicism, the official church teaching in the Catechism says, basing itself on sacred scripture, which presents homosexual acts as acts of grave depravity, Tradition has always declared that homosexual acts are intrinsically disordered.
Cool. So was a bunch of other shit you guys don't follow. Who gives a fuck? Right? First off, it's a church. You want butts in the seats. You're not gonna kick people out because they're gay on their off time. Are they being gay inside your church? Probably not.
They are contrary to natural law. They do not proceed from a genuine, effective, and sexual complementarity. Under no circumstances can they be approved.
Don't care. Also, you glossed over the Protestantism way too fast. Go back to that. Please talk about that more. Please do so.
Now, despite this crystal clear teaching, polls show that huge amounts of self-identified Catholics in
You're a self-identified Catholic. Go fuck yourself. Prove to me you're not. Oh, I played Crusader Kings too. Yeah, that's your fucking requirement to be a Catholic, I guess, in PAX 2 guys. Okay, so you played enough fucking gay-ass map video games, sure.
liberal countries say they support gay marriage.
Let's see here. Italy, Portugal, Spain. Look how many Spanish Catholics support that shit. Holy fuck. Holy fucking shit. I thought they were based in trad. Oh, wait. There are still practicing Catholics. There are people in fucking Spain who are like 9 trillion times more Catholic than PaxTube's white ass ever has been, okay? Those guys do weird Catholic rituals and festivities that would make this guy vomit in distress and uncomfort. Sure.
Notably, the polls found that people who attend church the most were least likely to support LGBT, while
yeah, because they don't have lives, but they still are Catholic.
Those who never attend were the most likely. The point here is clear. Liberalism creates a culture of values against Christian morality. Even Pope Francis, in trying to be accepted by the liberal world, has said things to downplay traditional Catholic values.
You know what's funny is that the Catholic Church has been an ever-growing and changing organization. The Catholic Church of today would disagree heavily with the Catholic Church of the 1800s. The Catholic Church of the 1800s would disagree heavily with the Catholic Church of the 1500s, and so on. Tradition changes. Traditions always change. You can't maintain the same culture forever. That's the funniest thing with these fucking fascist pricks, is that they want to imagine culture being this stone solid thing. Not because they like it even. They don't really like the culture they always cry about. They want it because then they think maybe then they could... Fuck. Because maybe then with a stable, non-changing culture they can fully encompass, they could maybe then have a more stable and successful life. Which will not be the case, because most of the time the problem with their lives is not involving culture at all.
Pope Francis represents what we could call an accommodationist wing of Catholicism toward...
Oh, he's laying on the fucking soft gloves for this one, okay? He's not going full I hate the Pope. He's trying to be like, the Pope is confused and misguided. Maybe? Let's find out.
Towards liberal social values. I think the church should be going in the opposite direction from this. It's not just...
Yeah, that's... Well, fucking pussy. Just say the Pope is gay. Just do it. Just fucking do it, you bitch. Oh my god. So wimpy, dude. This fucking guy acts like fucking Adolf Hitler when a Protestant says, I'm fine with gay people existing. But the Pope says more than that. And he goes, well, it's the Pope. You can't say anything bad about him. Fucking bitch. Organized religion cuck.
Just
okay.
LGBT. Christianity traditionally stood against things that violated the virtue of chastity or sexual morality. This includes acts like abortion, no-fault divorce, and pornography. Unfortunately, liberal countries around the globe have legalized these things and even made them a normal part.
Oh, not no-fault divorce. Not when my wife says, you're a dipshit, I'm leaving you. Oh, how horrible. Oh, no. The least married men cry about no-fault divorce, by the way.
Part of society. Christians and liberal countries are bombarded on a daily
you'd see shit like this on the reg in the Renaissance. Oh, how horrible. Not the Olympics anti-Christian as fucking if. As if, you loser. Go to fucking France, you bitch. Talk to them about religion, please. You get called a fucking weird gay American instantly.
Basis with things that go against the very essence.
Oh no, there's fat people and drag queens and a black woman. How scary.
Of what the religion stands for. This makes Christianity weaker as both the common people and clergy become more liberal. Much of Catholicism's internal problems with liberalism link back to the Second Vatican Council and its liberalization of important church teachings on issues like human rights and Catholicism's relation
horrible.
to Judaism.
Oh, that's the issue. That's his fucking problem. The Second Vatican Council, the wake of World War II. Yes. We over here at the Vatican say it's actually not good to do a Holocaust. And Paxube, decades later, is born, shat out by his gross mother, grows up in his fucking vat pod, breaks out, wants to be a Catholic, sees this on Wikipedia, and goes, I'm freaking pissed off.
It's important to note that the Second Vatican Council happened in the wake of World War II,
Yeah.
as the Allied powers and Soviets controlled
Please,
most of
go the distance. Fucking do it. Please.
Europe. This doubtlessly had a major influence on the Catholic teachings Vatican.
Fuck it, damn it. I know he wasn't gonna do it. But it'd be so funny if he did it. I know, he is boring. Ugh, I have been insulting him a lot, though. Okay. Okay, awesome. The Europe was occupied by the Allies in World War II, so that's why the Pope was forced to be woke in the 1960s. Sure, man, yeah. Sure. It's definitely not a point in time where the fucking United States government started being oppositionally pro-Christian and dominionist to counter the USSR. Not the one time where the rest of the free world, you know, whatever the fuck, the fucking liberal governments were all being super anti-communist, which is an explicitly atheist regime. Yeah, that's when the Pope was forced to be woke.
Changed. This is a good segue into how Christianity is undermined by liberalism from the outside, which is much more straightforward. Liberal countries claim to be religiously neutral, but in many cases pass laws that are directly anti-Christian. In the United States, famous cases involve attacks on Catholic charities and hospitals who refuse to tolerate abortion or LGBT. Across the country,
yeah, it's a hospital. What are you talking about? You go to an abortion clinic to do an abortion. If it's like the government saying like, hey, this hospital should do an abortion if it's gonna save the life of the mother, and they say no, then yes, they should be fucking told to do so. I don't give a shit. By gunpoint.
Adoption centers have been forced to shut down for their refusal to put children into the homes of gay couples. It didn't matter to the liberal state that the church was providing extremely
and there's no legal basis for not doing so. What the fuck is the issue here? What's wrong? Please.
Valuable services in other areas. They didn't follow liberal moral dogma, so they were forced to shut down. Civil rights law is also weaponized against Christians. There is the famous case of Masterpiece Cake Shop, where a Christian businessman refused to provide cakes for gay weddings and was targeted with lawfare as a result.
It's the United States. You get targeted with lawsuits out the ass regardless. And what was even the result of that?
2012, the Colorado Civil Rights Division unleashed an order that was an anti-Christian tirade against the bakery. It demanded that the cake shop's owner, Jack Phillips...
Well, also, to be fair, yeah, legally you can't say no. Because it's their circumstance. They didn't choose to be gay and walk into your cake shop and say, make us a gay cake. That wasn't their choice, it's their circumstance. Would Paxi defend this guy if he said, I'm not going to make a cake for black people getting married? The answer is Paxi would say yes, he supports that, but he won't post on his channel. But, you know, no, your business does not get to deny customers because of their unchangeable circumstances. Okay? That's not, yeah, eat shit.
Do whatever the gay couple wanted. It compared...
whatever they want. So fucking... I have to make a cake. It's my fucking business. This is the same whiny bullshit that's like people make fun of with that... What's that show? The Bear? Remember that show, The Bear, where like it's that one like rat-faced dude like cooking and he's like screaming and crying in anger because he has to make the food and there's like a fucking 4chan green text and it's like somebody orders food at my restaurant and it's like, oh fuck, I have to fucking cook. This fucking sucks so much. And it's like, it's the same shit. Oh, I have to make a cake for a gay wedding. I'm gonna kill myself. How pathetic.
Christianity to supporting slavery and effectively said it would be good for humanity if Christianity disappeared.
Agree.
Keep in mind, this wasn't a Reddit or atheist forum. It was an
Oh no, guys, look, it's the fat fedora man. My jokes come from 2014, haha.
official government body of the state of Colorado saying this.
Yeah, a secular government saying you can't not serve people if they have circumstances. They've been, you cannot serve them for a million other reasons. By the way, if they walk in being a big loud asshole, you can deny them. If they walk in threatening you, deny them. If they walk in, fucking just not saying anything, you can kick them out. Whatever. But if they walk in and say, "Hello, I'd like to buy a cake from you," or to commission a cake from you, and they say no, and you just ask why, and they say, because of your immutable circumstances that I am biased towards, that you can't change and do anything about, then yes.
Their anti-Christian rhetoric was so extreme that the Supreme Court later threw out their order for being obviously religiously biased.
Throughout the order because it was run by fucking Republicans. Who gives a shit?
But even though the Supreme Court ruled for the Christian in this case, there are dozens of cases where they did nothing and let Christians be prosecuted.
Good.
Situations like these force Christians to choose
Oh, yes, guys, this is what happens to Christians. They get locked behind bars. You're so oppressed. I'm so oppressed for being a Christian in the United States of America. Oh, so awful, so horrible. Oh.
following the laws of God or the laws of secular liberalism. Then there are groups like the Satanic Temple and the
Keep going, man. Keep going. Do it. Do
Freedom
it.
from Religion Foundation who really hammer this home.
Yeah. Well, first off, the Freedom from Religion Foundation obviously isn't like you or Cap or the Minionists anyways. They want a secular government. Pretty simple. And the Satanic Church, the Anton LaVey shit, those guys, it's like a humanist joke, right? It's all an elaborate humanist joke. They don't believe a Satanic Temple worshiper doesn't think the statue means anything. It's not the same thing as your ass like crying at a statue of like Mother of Saint Mary or some shit. It's completely nothing to them. It's a joke. It's they're trolling you, buddy. You're getting trolled by Satanists who don't actually believe in Satan. It's so fucking funny.
Exist for the sole purpose of removing Christianity from all areas of public life
And he's getting mad about like Church of Satan, like when like some podunk shit ass state government like in like Nebraska or some shit is like, we're gonna put up a Christmas display with Jesus on the state capitol right here in front of the doors, right? When they do that, the Church of Satan will show up and say, "Hey, are you secular? Like the government says so, like the First Amendment says so." They say, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay, if we pay to put up our own decoration for our own Christmas holiday, where the fuck, on your front lawn, will you let that be there too?" And they would obviously say no, but they're forced to by the law, so they do that, and shit like this gets put on state buildings, right? Because that's the law. You're getting trolled, buddy.
Name
You're getting
of
griefed.
liberalism. And no discussion of Christianity and liberalism would be complete without noting how liberalism alters Christianity's view of race.
No! Oh, fuck. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Just say it. Drop it. Drop a fat N-bomb. Do it.
In Western countries today, there are boatloads of Christians who leap at the chance to engage in social.
This fucking creep, this fucking cretin is like, Christianity has gone woke on racism, but he can't say the word shit in his fucking stupid meme. Oh my god, yeah, keep going.
Social justice over the slightest inconvenience that a white person causes to a non-white person.
Like getting killed by the police in broad daylight. What an inconvenience, please.
But when a non-white person objectively abuses a white person, these same Christians...
They also go to jail, yes. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Don't even get in this argument, buddy, please. White people are oppressed too, like Christians, because they're the same. Shut up.
Christians are nowhere to be found. They don't care.
Like what?
I don't believe the origin of this hypocrisy is Christianity. Rather, it's liberalism.
Christians were definitely anti other races. Yep. It's not like there were Christians of non-white races or anything, too. This guy's just a fucking Nazi. He probably should fucking...
Liberalism trains people, Christian or not, to see white people as a privileged class that can never be done.
Not in other liberal countries. You know what's a liberal country, buddy? Japan. Do they do this? No. What about South Korea? Do they do this? No. What about Brazil? They don't do this either. Right? This is an American thing and a Canadian thing in countries that were historically very racist towards people, to the point where it was only, like almost 60 years ago until civil rights were enacted, right? Which I bet he has problems with. Yeah. That's within living memory of people getting hosed down by the cops and having to drink in separate drinking fountains, okay? Shut the fuck up, you pussy.
Wrong under any circumstances. Many Christians foolishly adopt this racial worldview because they weren't taught any better.
And also, this worldview is like 100% correct. I only want to talk about how many anecdotal experiences I've had of just seeing like blatant white preference in like job fields and other places. Like it's a thing. It's a thing. It's real. I'm sorry. Maybe if you go outside, you'd see it too, Pack Soup.
Only in liberal democracies.
Oh, yes! Yes! It's fucking pussy. Posted this clip on Twitter and was very butthurt about it because he's like, only in liberal countries do they make movies where people in a church get shot up. First off, you're a Catholic. This is obviously supposed to be like a Southern Baptist church that the Kingsman guy here is killing, right? So you should support this. This is your shit, dude. You hate Protestants. You just don't want to say it because a lot of your viewer base is probably Protestant too. Anyways, so there's that. It's a fucking movie. Get over it, you stupid bitch. Who cares?
Do you get movies where white Christians are indiscriminately slaughtered?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh fuck. It's not like they've been doing that since fucking forever. It's almost like they fucking literally were doing that as this movie was filmed in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. Oh, how awful. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Does that happen in real life too, Pack Soup?
Like subhumans. And it...
Oh no. Well, they're also being like possessed by like an evil fucking like mind control device in this scene. So like, yeah, welcome. Like, what are you talking about? Did people make this movie with the intention to tell you that like white people should be killed like dogs? No. The main character in the movie is a white dude.
It's treated like a joke. This doesn't...
It's treated like a fun action scene.
Happen in so-called authoritarian countries.
It does. It happened in Soviet Russia, you fucking moron, and China too. You think communist China and Russia didn't also make films where it's like Christians are stupid pig dog people who should be shot? They did. A lot more openly than this movie does.
Which alone is reason for thought. At the end of the day, there is no real difference between modern liberalism and Satanism.
That's it. That's it, folks. Nope. Done with this one. Bye-bye. Fucking clown. Alright. I have enough energy in me for one more. So we have two options here, folks. Okay, two options. Alright. We have Mentis Wave and a video about it's titled Elon Musk Derangement and the Death of the Reasonable Left. That's from Mentis Wave. That's a libertarian guy we covered a while ago. Or we have WTF is the left even doing from What If Alt History. Which one? You guys tell me which one. What If Alt Hist or Mentis Wave? Which one? Either is torture for me. To cover, but, you know. Musk? Alright. Well, What If Alt Hist has been spared? What is this? Elon. Oh, wait. No, we have competing votes. Nope, Elon won. Womp womp. I know, wait, shit. Yo. I have... Hold up. Okay, let me count. Yeah. Okay. One Elon. One waterfall hissed. One waterfall hissed. One waterfall hissed. It's 2 for Elon, 3 for waterfall hissed. Sorry, folks. We're going waterfall hissed. Can I make a poll? Oh. Yeah, I can. Okay. Hang on. There, try that out. Here's the poll. Vote. I only have waterfall hiss so far. You guys better hurry up. Let me see it. Okay, 43% Elon. 57% waterfall hiss. Hurry up. All right. The Elons aren't cheating. They're losing. The Elons are losing. Exactly. Yeah, you don't like it when it's not in your favor. Nope. Yeah, but 30 seconds left. Yeah, I know. No, polls are closed. We're getting what if all hiss. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Rudyard Lynch is just that crazy. I'm sorry. He's just that insane. He's entertaining. It's fine. You know, we lost last year. You lose now. It's losing. You get used to it. The young guys lost. I don't care if they hack or not. Anyways, okay. This video is titled WTF. What WTF is the left even doing? That's what I'm saying, dude. What the hell is Chuck Schumer doing, dude? What's Gavin Newsom doing?
We are currently in a historic moment. We are currently in a
holy fucking shit. Can the subtitles please work? There we go. We are currently in a historic moment, says to every person at all times 24/7.
Historic moment. Few have realized this, but history is...
Hang on, he did that again. Oh no. This fucking lazy idiot. Hang on, this is an actual pet peeve of mine. Watch this.
We are currently in a historic moment. Few have...
Did you see that? So we had the stupid fucking bullshit Getty Images galaxy space bullshit moving this direction, right?
We are currently in a historic moment.
He said that. That's a sentence he said, right? And then watch.
Few have...
It moved. You know what he did? You know what this fucking guy did on his YouTube video that he made? He had a timeline and an editing software, probably fucking Premiere, knowing him. He had that. He had the audio of him fucking sparking out on beneath it, and above it was the video. And when he cut out the space, the 24-minute space of him not speaking, he cut that out. But he also cut out the footage above it. So the footage jumps with his cut. Which is not how you edit videos. It looks fucking dumb. Oh my god, it's so amateurish. I love it. It's so amateurish, and yet it has 300,000 views and came out 4 days ago.
I've realized this, but history is actively being carved out now. I decided
to happened again.
Stop everything and write this video since I
decided to stop everything and write this video. But you write these videos in like a fucking weird caffeine binge, ayahuasca binge, whatever fucking weird drugs you do in like an hour. We all know this. Half the time you make these videos off the top of your fucking stupid high hairline head, okay? I had to stop the presses and feverishly write this epic video.
I realized people needed an on-the-ground assessment of what's going on, since we
on the ground, you don't leave your house. You don't know what's on the ground, buddy.
Exist in a moment of chaos in which no one really knows what's happening.
No one
those
knows
who
what's
know
going
a little
on.
tend to be propagandists.
Oh my
Since
God.
the Trump victory in the last election, there's been this great question. What is the left going to do about this? The great irony is that the left...
Well, if you believe Tim Pool, and what if all this has been on Tim Pool's show before, the left would by now have burned the entire country down and started a civil war, which has not happened.
Itself doesn't seem to have an answer to that question. This is very important, since even though they are in mental disorder, the left is still the overwhelming ruling class of the Western world.
Oh, what a fucking bitch. These guys are always such sore losers, okay? They win, they get to do all this bullshit they want to do, they're fucking carving out the federal government like crazy, and they're like, we're still the oppressed class. Such a fuck you.
The left runs the imperial bureaucracy, the United Nations, the European Union, the Catholic Church, major...
The Catholic Church. After that Paxton video, that's really funny.
Corporations, tech, the media, the...
Jesus fucking Christ, what if all hissed? If they control all this, then why are you even trying? What are you talking about? If they control this, why are you allowed to make YouTube videos and monetize them? You... What are you fucking talking about? Oh, they control everything, but not everything.
Educational system, academia, Hollywood, and any other institution you could throw a dart at.
And he can't define leftist, by the way. When he says leftist, he'll say cultural Marxist, and if he hasn't defined that, he'll probably have his fucking brain fry out of his own ears.
Without the left, there's basically nothing left in the Western world, since the right is incapable of creating its own institutions as of now.
I love his definitions. He's so shitty. This fucking fake pseudo-intellectual. First off, again, the whole left is like the Democrats and the liberals, and the right, I know, and the right is like everything else. That like dichotomy is an American thing. It's not a thing in like other countries with actual like parliaments and with different parties, right? Like in Europe, if you say those fucking leftists and you mean like some centrist liberal who wants to give $9 trillion to Israel still, you'd be laughed at out of like your French parlor, right? Like that's not the case. And like a person who actually listens to politics would know this and use better language, but he doesn't know these things and he won't use better language.
This is a video to look at what's going on with the left right now. This video is my best attempt to do it, since
we'll hold you to that. That's just gonna be your best attempt.
I do not have the ability to look into the minds of the left's leadership to see where they're at.
We know that.
Looking at the media, messaging, and implicit assumptions behind the left today to figure out their next move. No matter what they do, they will be determining history from now on.
By the way, when he does this, he's gonna do the thing that all fascists do, which is like say like, the enemy is both strong and weak at the same time. He's gonna do that, right? He's gonna say the like, you know, in the face of Trump winning and companies like getting in line, all of international finance aligning with his goals, at least in America, like all of America's wealth being directed towards what he wants, this object power. He's going to say that, like, the libs are still in control, by the way. They're still very strong. We have to keep vigilance. Some stupid shit like that. And there's this fucking nostalgia critic intro. Yup.
I spent a lot of time online studying for this video, watching videos and articles.
I bet.
And if you're anything like me, you also spend a lot of time online.
This is the Surfshark advertisement. I guess, you know, he says that, like, the liberals control all the corporations, but I guess not Surfshark. I guess Surfshark's safe. It's trad and epic, I guess. Sure. Let me skip his ad here. Yep, I bet. Part 1. Will there be war? What's funny is that we actually covered a video of Tim Pool's where What About His said there would be warfare. There would be a civil war if the liberals lost or won. If either happened, there'd be an evil civil war. That's what he fucking said Like 3 months before the election. Okay? 3 months before the election.
1. Will there be war?
No.
Although I cover a wide variety of topics between anthropology, history, philosophy, politics, and others.
Without any degrees or accreditation towards those topics. Yep. Mm-hmm.
However, the thing I've become best known for is my prediction that modern America is on the verge of a political crisis comparable to the French Revolution or the American Civil War. That
it is not.
America is about to experience a horrifying internal war between the right and the left, which will completely remake the current social order, leaving blood on the streets. If you're new to this show, that may sound insane. However,
it may sound insane.
However, watch my half a dozen videos on the topic if you'd like to hear more. Especially,
I have. They're all fucking word soup. You're not consistent. You don't have a fucking actual point in any of them. Besides saying this over and over again without any evidence. Could you go outside and show us where the Civil War is happening? Is the Civil War in the room with us right now, please? I go outside all the time. I talk to coworkers all the time. I talk to them and they're like more concerned about like movies and shit than they are about Civil War, you fucking idiot. Back in like 1860, people were talking about fucking violence. There was violence. People were getting beaten in Congress. There were people getting shot in Kansas before the Civil War. How stupid.
So my 1,000 deaths bet has gone pretty viral. Last April, I made a bet with my friend Andrew Heaton that America would experience 1,000 politically motivated deaths within the next.
That probably happens every fucking year if you want to be as pedantic as you would be about it, which he's going to be. Watch.
Next year. I then said it on Timcast a few months ago, which broadcasted it out. People are taking this way more seriously than I did.
What do you mean when you did? You said the bet, you didn't even say 1,000 deaths. You bet on like a Civil War. Like you did say that. I'm not making this up.
I'm actually not keeping a counter and the number 1,000 is relatively arbitrary.
I love this thing they do. They're like, I'll put money on it. That's how fucking confident I am on this point. I'll put fucking money on it. And then when the people like say like, hey, what's up with this? You're like, actually, you know, I wasn't being serious. Okay, were you being serious? How fucking gay, man.
I find people.
This guy's 22 years old.
People get obsessive over games where you have a pre-established rule structure. The thing is that if America has 1,000 politically motivated deaths, we really have 50,000 or 5 million or 30 million.
What the fuck are you saying? What? What are you saying? What? 55 million, 30 million, 50,000? What? I'm going insane. Sure, yeah.
The way wars work is that when it rains, it pours. Overnight, you go from peace to complete social breakdown. This is what happened in the World Wars, the American Civil War, the Ukraine War, or even COVID.
You know what's funny? Same. You know what's funny is that, like, if you weren't on the front lines of the Civil War or the World Wars, you probably were doing almost the same as you were beforehand. Like, there is, like, written accounts of guys on, like, the front lines of World War I, where they go, like, 6 miles away from the fucking violent trench warfare hellscape, you know, somewhere in Belgium or some shit, and they go back to France. People were, like, herding goats and getting eggs, and it's all the exact same. You know what's really funny? Did you read All Quiet in the Western Front? Remember that part where the main character goes home for a bit, and everything's the exact fucking same, but he's not? Oh, what a moron.
If we hit 1,000, you'll definitely know. Here we are nearly halfway through February and it hasn't happened yet. There's not much really else to say. I was very open for my entire...
Wait, halfway through February? Motherfucker, you posted this video on March 17th. You procrastinate that much but put dates in your fucking videos? That's not good.
...career, that my job is betting against God, and I'm very
What the fuck are you talking about?
...transparent about my fallibility. If it doesn't happen...
I'm very apparent about how much I talk out my ass constantly.
It just didn't happen. There's not much else to say. I'm not going to fill your mind with useless
this is
chatter.
So embarrassing.
There's no need to be
what
children about this. This stuff operates under chance and the impossible part of predicting the future.
Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Dude, this is fucking embarrassing as fuck. I had to open my YouTube video saying, guys, listen, I'm wrong all the time, but it's not my fault, okay? You know me, I'm wrong all the time, but listen to me now, please. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Is the actual timing. It's fairly plausible to get an underlying trend down, but to actually predict when it happens is vastly more difficult. For example,
it's fairly plausible to say the most vague shit ever, but it's hard to be correct about any of it. Yeah.
Well, I still think a major war is completely unavoidable. I think it's impossible to get out of the next 4 years without blood on the streets.
Okay, guys, hold that on. Okay, there'll be a war. Now, is the word war and blood on the streets the exact same thing? The answer is no. But yeah, there'll be a major war. Go on Polymarket right now. Go bet against there being a major American war in the United States itself, in the next 4 years. What about his? I know he says he's wrong a lot, and he's always betting against God, but he's for sure about this. Okay, so go do that. Yep.
However and whenever it happens.
And if you lose all your money, it's his fault, not mine. It's his fault. He says so.
Happens. If it doesn't
he's read a lot of books. He's read a lot of books, okay? Trust me.
Happen by this April, then I'm going to say within the next 4 years. If it doesn't happen by then, I'll just be objectively wrong.
Okay. All right. I got like a reminder on my phone or something, or someplace, saying like, and remind me in 4 years if there was a civil war or not, and then go back to here and and then ask email what about history. Hey, you said to be a civil war in the last 4 years. Were you just wrong? And he'll be like, no. Fuck.
There's nothing else I can say. I see lots of people on my side of.
Also, I'm sorry. This is really embarrassing if you think about it for like a second here. This motherfucker has been, making videos where he's like, I'm always right. I'm correct. I've read all these stupid books. I've asked my friends. I'm always right. Okay. And he starts his video he opens his video up saying like, guys, sometimes I'm just flat out fucking wrong. Okay. That's my job as a political commentator, is just to go to my audience and say, guys, I'm just completely off base here. Okay. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Anyways, why? What motivated him to say this?
The aisle, and I will be open about my biases.
What did he smoke?
They're pretty obvious, and if you don't agree,
have you ever seen like a bigger like channel say this? Have you ever seen like David Pakman go on air and be like, "Hey guys, I'm always fucking wrong, but not this time," or like Kyle Kalinske or like Hassan? Did Hassan got on stream and went like, "Yo, I was wrong the last 4 years, but I'm right this time, bro." Has he done that? I don't think so. I think this is just him acting very neurotic and obsessing about himself way too much in like an autistic manner.
Feel free to take my slant out, where lots of people on the right think that Trump could stop a civil war. I would say we've already seen Trump have 4 years in office. I do think Trump is the best.
Oh, fuck me. He always does these. Has he ever talked about like his video making process? That's what I'm most interested in. I don't care about what the fuck he has to say. I just want to know why he does this shit, right? Like these fucking black frames he does with the text over it, which he expects you to pause and read, and he thinks somehow makes what he says better, which doesn't. But like, what is it? I say that Trump is the best president in living memory for a handful of reasons. First off, you're you're 3 years old. You've seen like 4 presidents. You don't... Shut up. That's quite the argument. Trump is the best president in living memory. My arguments are: 1, all presidents aren't good. Great argument. 2, who saw an increase in quality of life for poor Americans. That's not the case. What are you talking about? First off, the start of the recession to the end of the recession under Obama is like an almost objective increase of life quality. What the fuck are you talking about? That's so stupid. Also, Trump ended his presidency with quality of life dipping down because of COVID. He's the first president to deal with deindustrialization. That's not true. That's not a fucking case, you moron. What are you talking about? America's been deindustrialized since like Carter, okay? Ever since Carter said unions go away, shoot, blam, they're all dead. We've been deindustrialized, and every president's been dealing with that fucking fallout for years, okay? He shattered the pre-established conservative elite and thus opened up space for the new right to form. So he's not even part of the political machine. So of course he gets a bunch of random fucking idiots with money to join in. Sure, yeah. It's not a good thing. He has a strong foreign policy, especially being the first American who was serious on China. Buddy, I think there are plenty of presidents who are more serious about fucking China, you moron. And built up a strong coalition in the Middle East. Stronger than Bush's? I don't think so, buddy.
Best president in living memory, which may sound dramatic, but here's a text wall to explain why.
My points might sound crazy, but I can't voice them or write them well enough to not say them, so I'm gonna put a text wall for you to read.
However, a competent business mogul can't stop this avalanche. The issues plaguing modern America stem back decades. The reason I think
oh my god, I love the family shit here, dude. Oh my fucking god, where did you get this graph from? I need to know. I really need to know. Hang on, reverse image search, don't fail me now. Please don't fail me now. I'm fucking begging you, don't fail me. I need to find out where this graph is from, because this shit's... Okay, why I'm freaking out? Okay, listen. Right here, 1960, 60 right here. Boom. Civil Rights Act. Immigration Act. That's why. He has a Nazi graph. I need to find out. If it's a Nazi graph or not. That's all. Where the fuck is that other tab at? Oh, it's hidden behind all this other shit. Or it's not? What the fuck? Okay, time for reverse image search. Please let me find where this is from. It'd be so fucking funny. It'd be hilarious. Please. Oh. Peter Turchin. That's the chart. This is okay. Hang on. Okay. This graph is apparently based on the United States political violence database. From a, let me see here, an article about political instability in the United States, right? So I could imagine. All right, let me think here. I'm trying to understand what the fuck this graph is from. It's so annoying. If only he like put it up and like talked about it or explained it a bit. I have to actually read this graph to understand it. There is an Excel spreadsheet though. Let's see here. Okay. Maybe no. Real rage. Health, family. This is really boring. Alright, so this graph has like code, year, type, subtype, fatalities, location, source, description. It includes like every fucking variant random act of civil disobedience from fucking whenever. This is so stupid. Like fucking here, okay? 1857, riot, labor, Baltimore. May, striking railroad workers using violence to prevent trains from running. On first, the ambush of train leaving Baltimore. The cut, a deep cut at Jackson's Bridge. Shots were exchanged with the cops. One train got through, 3 others did not. Similar occurrence. It's just nonsense. This graph is nonsense. Why do I even read that shit? Oh my fucking god. He just finds shit and then puts it on here. And not tie it into what the fuck he's saying. Okay. How stupid.
have a war is that the average American exists in a state of poverty today. Due to complex demographic factors that mostly started around 1971, the average American has gotten significantly poorer, the country has incredibly high inequality, inflation has skyrocketed, and there are huge classes of elite aspirant, politically motivated young people who want to fight. These are...
Oh, no. Listen, okay, this is the truth, all right? What about he thinks he's that, and maybe he's that. I'm sort of like that too. I want political aspirations, kind of. But mainly, yeah. But like, where it's not normal. It's not a big class. It's not a normal amount of people, right? Most people watch like political content because it's like mildly interesting for them, but they don't want to like go out and like become part of the machine. It's freak behavior. You kidding me? All right.
One of the factors historians have consistently found cause revolutions or civil wars. Said in another way, there's no historic society that looks like us that doesn't have a revolution. There's about 20 different variables you could study blasting off that say we're about to have a revolution. If you're new to this channel, I purposely kept this segment short in order to not bore
Thank fucking Christ.
Or the people who have heard this spiel 100 times already. So how does this factor in with the left? Reality is made by a million little choices stemming from the minds of the players. I know the right pretty well, but the left is the other player in the game. Thus, in order to figure out what will happen here, we need to look into the minds of the left to see what their motivations are.
Enter my mind. What if all this? Please pry it open.
For their next potential actions. This ultimate question will determine the fate of our civilization.
Wow. Part 2, Mind Migration. Okay.
Part 2, Mind Migrations. You know, there used to be a time when America was a single country. You could drive from Boston to Los Angeles to see a coherent society where people had similar values, blood, philosophic views, national identity, understanding of their shared history, and income range.
Fuck me. Fuck. That's so fucking stupid. The answer is yes and no. That's the case for that existing. It exists today and it doesn't exist today. First off, get rid of income range. That's not true. Are you kidding me? There have always been rich and poor areas, motherfucker. Compare that to like 1820s New York, the slums, to like not even the slums in New York, but like the rich areas in New York to the slums to like Appalachia. Completely fucking different cultures out the fucking ass. You are a clown if you ever thought that was the fucking case. At the same time, you go outside today, yes, people all act the same and talk about the same fucking things, right? I'm here, I can talk to some guy about the show Invincible and the season 3 of it, and then drive all the way out to Idaho and do the exact same shit. So stupid. Fuck me, man. This is only something you can believe if you don't leave your house. If you don't leave your little shitty neighborhood. If you have a job where you make YouTube videos and you don't go outside, which is the case for What If All Hist.
That's obviously not the case now. Ironically, globalization and immigration have split different regions of America more apart, while the intention was to do the opposite.
It has not.
Do you guys remember 2010? I think...
you remember 22? Remember Barry's fucking stupid asshole?
I think everyone who's watching this should be old enough to do so.
Buddy, you were a child. You were like 9 years old. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, motherfucker? You don't know what it was like back then. Neither do I, or half the other people watching this shit. You ask some guy in his 50s, he'd say like, yeah, it was the same shit. Because they're right. Because they were a fucking cognizant being back then. Not a stupid fucking child crying about his Xbox or whatever the fuck. God damn it, man.
For the 10-year-old watching this, I want to say...
a 10-year-old should not be watching this boring shit. Go watch fucking Finger Family videos or some shit instead. Jesus Christ. Go watch Kai Cenat.
I am very proud of the mental horsepower you have to be able to understand this at this age. And
Wait, what are you talking about? What the fuck? You said, remember 2010? And then you talk about a 10-year-old watching your video. No 10-year-old watching your fucking video, dude. Come on. Fuck me. This is so gay.
If society is still functioning when you're older, you could probably become quite wealthy off being so precocious.
No.
However, 2010 was an interesting psychological state at complete odds with the rest of the human condition.
Me too. Me too. I agree. I feel bad for them too if they have to watch this shit. Oh, so gay. Oh, man.
2010 was the last point where you could see that unified 20th century myth of America. I'll watch.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You weren't an adult back then. You were a stupid fucking infant sucking on your thumb. Shut the fuck up. I don't know that either. I couldn't tell you if it was or not, but I see America right now, and it's pretty damn the same culturally, and in some cases, actually, rather politically, if you think about it, right? There are lots of social issues we have problems with and divides with and crosses with, but that's mainly like a politics thing. Like, the average person doesn't really give a fuck in like a good, blasé way. Not like they don't like want to hear about it, but like they don't like really think about it. They're thinking about like their rent next week or some shit. God, fuck me.
Movies from 2010, and it feels almost as if it was
movies from 2010. It was a different world. Okay, buddy, let's look into some shit here. Okay, fuck my ass. 2010 in film. All right. The Toy Story 3, you call it woke. The shitty ass Jim Carrey Alice in Wonderland, woke. Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1, gay. Inception, woke. Shrek Forever After, definitely woke. And not even that, it's kind of the worst one. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not the best one. Iron Man 2, Twilight Saga Eclipse. Oh, different worlds. These could be made nowadays. So fucking lame. Yes, they could. Shut up.
A different reality that somehow I lived in. The last time you could see in America.
This is guys, remember when Minecraft was fun? Remember when you were 8 years old and you played Minecraft and you had fun? The woke got rid of that. Oh no, that's my place. Fuck. Go back. Ew. What? Jesus Christ.
Complete odds with the rest of the human condition. 2010 was the last point where you could see that unified 20th century myth of America. I'll watch movies from 2010, and it feels almost as if it was a different reality that somehow I lived in. The last time you could see an America that looked reminiscent of The Simpsons or Home Alone.
Oh, he always fucking does this. This absolute moron. This absolute fucking idiot. He thinks The Simpsons is like traditional family shit. He thinks that's like what the family unit should be like. When it came out, The Simpsons was a parody of sitcoms. The joke is that the family is completely dysfunctional and doesn't operate anywhere near like a sitcom family would in like the 70s and 60s, right? The Homer is a fat idiot who doesn't know what's going on and can't control any aspect of his life. He barely has a job, right? And he's incompetent as fuck, right? He's not the pater familias. He's a dummy, right? Meanwhile, Marge actually runs the family and actually controls what they decide to do for the most part, right? She's way more competent than her husband. Bart's a precocious little shithead child who doesn't listen to anyone the way anyone says. He's anti-authoritarian. And then Lisa is the same in like a more intellectual and less like goofy way. Like, oh my god, fuck me, he's so dumb. But when it came out, like people wanted to ban The Simpsons because it was displaying negative family values. Open the schools up, make them watch that shit. Oh fuck me, so stupid.
This was a time when Hollywood and Wall Street were seen as Americana.
In 2010, Hollywood was Americana. In 2010, Wall Street was. Then wasn't that like the middle of like the Occupy Wall Street protests? Like, what are you talking about? We had the fucking stock market crash. What they were like evil Hollywood elite politics going on before 2010, buddy.
Reason I'm pointing this out is that our society's collective psychological starting point is this time period.
No, it's
the
not.
great irony is that this old 20th century America.
I'm not even reading this one. This one's just fucking stupid. I'm not reading actually. Things all the rest of history believe that we don't. So fucking stupid. Yeah. The sun's the center of the earth. The earth is the center of the solar system too. Do you believe that, buddy? No, crazy. I'm going sicko mode. We believe this. Class. He says this. I'd really like What About His to explain how the fuck class is biological. I really want to hear this. I want to hear his explanation, please. Because I get the ethnicity and the race and the sex thing. Because, like, it's true. Race is a different set of biological phenotypes you have in your DNA. It doesn't mean anything. It means basically fucking nothing. You're what a fucking Klein that determines your phenotypes. Same for ethnicity. And then, your birth sex, yeah, it's different. It does affect your life a lot, right? But what the fuck does class have to do with biology? Could I please hear an explanation? What about this? He doesn't watch me, listen to me, but like, I'd love to hear that. And he's also blocked me on Twitter too, so I can't even ask him directly. Progress is not an innate law of the world. There's no innate laws of the fucking world, moron. But like, yeah, we want a better world to live in, so we progress towards it. Congratulations. Family, community, and nation is the bedrock of human life. I believe most people think this right now anyways. War is a nasty reality to accept. That's so fucking 14 years old. Like, it's so fucking lame, dude. War is unavoidable and it's awful, and I love video games. He might as well fucking say, baby brain. Equality doesn't really exist. That's true. Ethnicity, I mean, like, okay, like an ethnic group, it can be cultural and like your phenotypes, but like it's mainly a cultural thing. Race is also mainly a cultural thing, and so is gender. So like, it's the same shit. Equality doesn't really exist. Inequality doesn't really exist. What are you fucking talking about? The greatest things are divine. He fucking missed the space. What a fucking idiot. God damn it. Watch your own videos, man. The greatest things are divine, and the lowest are demonic. No one believed this. There are archetypal forms of the... Nope. Human nature is innately fallible. But what the fuck does that even mean? There is divine and spirit world. Nope. Consciousness exists in its own right. Nope. Happiness is more to do with values and connection than with material wealth. That's true. But material wealth is also so fucking important that it makes you want to kill yourself nowadays. So, like, we should fix that maybe, right? There is a cutoff point where having so much wealth doesn't actually make you happier. But, like, that cutoff point is like making well over 6 figures a year by yourself. And most people do not do that, so I don't give a shit. That the universe is a self-reflexive conscious system. Nope. And then that history operates in a cycle of bad times, decadence. Hare Krishna, fucking not Hare Krishna. Fuck. It's a what do they call that? What do they call that cycle bullshit that like Joe Rogan believes or some shit? The Vedic cycle. Kali Yuga. Yeah, no. Are you a Hindu? What about his? You fucking loser? Okay.
Was a lie and completely removed from the rest of the human.
We're only 9 minutes into this video.
Condition. This was the era of the blue pill, a society where it was an era which thought that history was over, believed in equality, feminism, progress, secularism, didn't believe in the spiritual.
Oh, fuck off with this no true Christian nonsense. Just go join PAX to be a loser.
Pretended to be Christian but didn't really believe in God, was so wealthy, naive, and many other traits. This was all an illusion spun by the enormous wealth of the post-World War II era. It's so remarkable how quickly we've forgotten the entire rest of the human condition. All of human history outside this warm bubble is very different. Hierarchical, religious, coercive, violent, magical, mythic, dramatic,
magical, mythic. Shut up. No, it was never that. Not the case. Sorry. We get it. You like reading books and playing video games. That's not the case for real life. Trust me, a peasant in 14th century France that didn't believe the world was mythical and magical. They thought, shit, if I don't grow enough crops this year, my ass is getting put into a cage.
Heroic amongst other things. The problem is that the illusion of 2010, as time passed, became impossible to maintain for a larger and larger percent of the population.
This is just popular media. What about Hist? You can do this right now. This is the fucking thing, okay? It's probably too late for your ass, but like you can do this right now. It's so fucking easy. Just get off Twitter and get off YouTube. You can enjoy shitty, stupid movies no one cares about. You can enjoy stupid pop star dresses and shit like that. You can enjoy stupid random apps. You can be this like politically politically ignorant right now. And I bet you it's a fucking charmed life. I bet a normal person who doesn't know about politics or like the news at all leads a very nice, happy life where they just, think about like, oh, personal things, like, oh, what's my kid doing today after school? I hope he enjoys it, or like, oh, I saw this new movie last week. It was really good. Let me tell you about it. Those people probably have great lives. They're not brain broken like you and me would have thought his, right? Because you pay attention to politics, okay? Our brains are fucking broken on a base level. Cool. Obama's an anti-woke champion. It was more like he was saying that like Obama was like actually, you know what? No, he actually doesn't think that. He probably thinks Obama started the wokeness that destroyed the sacred 2010 timeline he envisions. Okay.
The main story of our times is how does one choose to leave the myth of the 2010 era? A major reason I believe we have to have a civil war is that
Okay. This is the thing you said. You said like, I don't want there to be a civil war, but now he's saying like we have to have it. It sounds like something you want to happen. What about this? It sounds like you wake up every day, your little penis hard because you think there's gonna be a big, evil, violent, cool civil war that can make movies and video games off of. That's gonna kill millions of people, and I get to listen to podcasts about it afterwards. Not be involved myself, of course. I'm what if all his, but it'd be cool if it happened. It sounds like you just want that to happen because you like the idea of people you don't like getting killed. Just say that, please. It's much more simple to follow and not as lame and doesn't take 55 minutes to go over.
America has become a country where we have different large demographics of the population who basically believe in different realities of the world
that's been the case since fucking forever. Wake up.
Have been diverging more and more over the last few years, and these understandings of reality are completely unreconcilable. I am going to
edit your fucking videos properly, you fucking neb.
To split the population into different pills based off red pill terminology.
Don't, it's so fucking gay. Stop.
Since the only way you can understand the left is to see their own internal emotional journey. A major issue as well is that the society is completely incapable of coming to terms with the fact that the blue pill era was a lie. Thus, different factions have different answers, most of which are frankly incredibly stupid and silly, since the wise and educated older folks who should have brought more wisdom are themselves bought into maintaining the old lie. An important point that I want to say before I get started is that although we inhabit the same physical space as the left, we are not in the same world, if you understand what I'm saying.
You are. You're so stupid. Yes, you are. Maybe you're not in the same world with all this. Maybe your fucking ayahuasca trip and your spirit world connections have separated you from everyone else. Ever thought about that?
The word world carries connotations of your entire concept for how reality works, between metaphysics, between...
Nobody thinks about metaphysics, you fucking loser, except for you because you think you're special. Shut up.
And philosophy.
I don't think about metaphysics. Nope. Nuh-uh.
Between your process of just how the environment and human life is, which is why I'll frequently say,
what is this shitty map?
Stuff like the Islamic world or the Western world.
Person whose name is cuneiform. That's a fucking awesome question. So far, it's been one of his trying to say that like he's wrong sometimes. Don't get mad at him, and then B, 2010 was like the epicest time ever when everyone agreed with everything, and then now we're all separate, and then now he is saying that like a person living in Turkey and a person living in Greece are metaphysically so different that they cannot perceive the world the same way. Which is not the case. Yeah. And then it's all building up towards him saying he's going to put us in the mind of a leftist. I hope he gets to that soon.
And that sort of thing. This is a German concept originally. This is a point that I need to emphasize. If you're a rightist,
what the fuck is this stupid bullshit? What is this 2015 ass fucking image? Someone's oh, God.
Gone through an enormous intellectual journey since 2016. I look at who I was in 2016, and I was 15 years old.
Jesus fucking Christ, shut up. Oh, he's 24 then? 23? Same, baby.
And I'm in complete shock at how much I've changed as a person, as have my views. The left have been on their own journey, one which rightists don't see. The result of this journey appears as madness to rightists, which it objectively is, don't get
Sure.
Get me wrong, but it completely makes sense inside the retarded frame.
You really can't say retarded. You really can't. You're that scared of advertisers? What a fucking cuck. Retard, retard, retard. Retard, retard, retard. Easy. Easy. I'm not even ableist. I don't use that word against people who are obviously, you know, have autism or some shit. I use it against guys like you who deny to have autism, so you get to get called retard 24/7. What a autist? That's fine.
The left is holding on to. Let me start with my group, and I would assume yours, the red pill.
Nope.
It frequently.
What the fuck was that? Is he insane?
It really feels as if the last 4 years has been God shoving me red pills, saying, "Hey kid, take."
It feels like the last 4 years have been the algorithm telling me what to think constantly. Crazy.
Another shot and don't throw up this time. I've been red pilled on so many things in such a short time period that I find my old worldview completely incomprehensible and silly. The conclusion I eventually came to is that the pre-industrial world was right on almost everything.
It wasn't.
That really shouldn't be surprising, given every society ever in history before us largely believed a lot of the very same obvious things, which I show in this.
You repeated this fucking thing again. Shut up. These are all wrong. Off a cliff.
Text wall here. I don't want to get too far into the right because that's not the point of this video, but suffice it to say, the right.
Did he say suffice it? Did he say suffice it? It's not suffice it to say. You say suffice to say. You don't say suffice it to say, you fucking idiot. He can't even talk right. They are, Jonah, they are.
Right is currently in the formation of new mental and philosophic breakthroughs.
Yeah, they are, buddy, sure. They're out here, their philosophical breakthroughs are like, we don't need to actually have children or marry women. We just need to watch anime all day. It's their fucking breakthrough right now, buddy. So stupid. Okay,
all the fields I've been in modern America, and I've seen a lot of different industries, the new right is one of the most creative and dynamic.
They are not. You know what their creative aspects are? Use an AI program to do it for us, and then just spam it on Twitter. That's it. That's fucking it. They're not creative. The right-wing, like, political types are really stupid. They really just repeat themselves all the time.
You do have the Fox News watching boomer cons who
are the actual fucking voter base, by the way.
Still believe the exact same things as Reagan, but they're aging out. They don't even really hold power due to the Trump coup.
They do. They voted him in, moron. Also, coup. You want to talk about Trump's cooing attempts, please?
Right deserves its own video, but the short answer is that everyone on the new right today have all collectively agreed that the 2010 blue pill era was a lie.
By the way, everyone like on like the internet side of the right wing zone, except for like maybe like Tim Pool and some other guys, called Woodville Hiss a fucking clown and make fun of him for his drug addiction problems and his psychopathic like issues, right? They don't like him. He's just this stupid. He thinks they like him. They don't.
And they're looking to further in the past to find a new answer. They're on the right, haha, pun intended, path. There are a few other intellectual tracks which I talk about here in this text wall. In the original edit for this video,
you didn't even edit this properly. Oh, okay. I was going to split publish into these pills. Blue pill, 19th century, 20th century status quo. Red pill, rightist reject modernism. Gay pill, radical leftists. How fucking cool, dude. Gay without like the A, just the H-E. Really stupid. Then black pill, cynics, sure.
Video, I had a 10-minute segment strategically analyzing each of these pills for their strengths and weaknesses.
So stupid. Just this is the same mindset that makes people like go like, this is the doomer Wojak, and this is the zoomer Wojak. It's the same shit. You love categorization, but like your categories suck. and are just little jokes that are funny to you but make no sense to anyone else.
Realize we didn't really need that here, but let me know if you want a video with me explaining these different pills in the future. The right made an active decision to break away from the old worldview, while the left needed to double down. I'm so disappointed that all the anarchist, rebel, punk tendencies inside the left were so fake. They've become...
What do you mean they're fake? They're out there burning Tesla dealerships to the ground. That's pretty cool. Illegal, don't do it.
Complete bootlickers for the regime.
What regime? These people didn't vote for Joe Biden, you fucking moron.
And it's
also, these aren't even like this is like the ACP. These guys don't vote for anybody. It's not even the DSA, you fucking loser. Oh my god.
Is he even?
He doesn't know shit. He's so stupid.
Communists who are supposedly there to support the working classes betray them for wokeness.
You call socialism and unions woke? What are you talking about? These are like clowns. These guys don't do anything. Okay, they're just New York losers. I don't like them either. They're stupid.
Is that the way the left differs from the 2010 order is by distilling said order into even greater fanaticism. What that means is that the philosophic conclusions of the blue pill era in their worldview have to be pushed even further without question. Things like equality, secularism, standardization, which are innately false.
What the fuck are you talking? Secularism isn't false. It's a successful government type that operates in most of the planet today. Standardization? That's how the fucking global capital system works, buddy.
Need to be pushed to their ultimate culmination. Ironically enough, there's two kinds of blue pills person. You have the boomer blue pill and the zoomer.
You have the boomer and the zoomer. Here's my AI drawing I had Grok make. So stupid. Fuck this. Okay. Nope. Keep going.
Blue pill. And the boomer blue pill is taking the post-World War II silliness at its original face value and then not changing and ignoring how the world has altered massively since 1970, while the zoomer blue pill is just complete deranged insanity, pushing these originally incorrect assumptions to, again, complete insanity. The 2010 order is already dead since it was always built off lies. The left deals with this by making the lies even more obnoxious. I hope you can see how in the process of doing so, they make it impossible to adjust strategically as they default into being a cult. Ironically, their moral code literally denies the importance of evidence, which is so brutal, it's not even something a conservative could make up about the left as a parody. So what happened with the left? To start, the left gained control over the West's institutions around the time period of the World Wars. You see this now. The Western elites did a
Sure. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Well, you're correct. I see Nosferatu right here. What's that? We've now reached the stage where I skip around the video, see if there's anything fucking even interesting or funny to say, because right now, he has utterly bored my brain to fucking anger.
Whatever sweet words to get them to go back to sleep so that they can...
yeah, and I just talking about Dracula, evil Jewish cabal. Just say it. 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 Just fucking say it, you loser. What does he end with, huh?
In the shower and you have a crippling headache while the air is still and humid. I don't know how to articulate it, but something feels evil in the air. I tried.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah. Damn, with the highest viewer count right now, too. Fuck. Alright, guy. Alright, gang. I gotta stop right here then. Not because I want to not cover this whole video. Oh, also it's getting a bit brain broken, but at the same time, it's also a time issue. I have other obligations at the moment. Thank you for watching. To just give a little update here, I do plan on finishing 2 things this weekend, since I have that whole thing off. And then, hopefully they'll be coming out next week. Until then, and there'll be actual videos, not a podcast, not a live stream, nope. Until then, see you later. Bye. Sudden stream end. Eat shit. Goodbye.